Hey guys, welcome to episode 195 of 4PlayerAnimecast. We are just at the end of April. It is April 30th, 10:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the East Coast of the United States, at least for me. And we are pretty much in the earlier half of our spring season. We're still covering a lot of stuff. Honestly, the lineup that we have for this spring season, there's a lot of stuff that is probably a decent watch. And honestly, it's really good to have this flexibility. Again, it's better than having, one of those dry seasons where, say Nier or Toast or Darkrai kind of just are like, oh God, there's like nothing I want to watch. And it's just, I have to end up taking a lot of bullets, like watching, like 5 billion like random Fujoshi or Isekai or whatever the hell shows, right? Um so we have our pick of the lot to choose from the season. There's plenty of good stuff here. So, going through this season. And again, I am your host Spire, and with me are my compatriots Near,
Hi.
Dark,
Hello.
and Toast.
What?
All right. Well, let's quickly go over our past 2 weeks. I haven't been doing too much. The good thing is a lot of the real life stuff is settling down a little bit now, so I have a little bit more time. I've uh there was a recent one. I've been getting a little bit more back into light novels. I caught up with Tsukimichi. I want that. I think it's ending soon. I want that to end soon. God, so I can finally read the conclusion and be done with it. There's one or two other stuff that was getting into, but I
Oh
forget.
shit.
Like a lot of what?
Fire.
Go- Yes,
You like Alice Soft, right? You get the free demo?
Alice. Alice Soft. What do they? I keep. Sorry,
What
I'm
do
like my memory is really bad.
Alisoft
What?
makes
Dona Dona
rants?
was their most recent one. Yeah, it's Rance, and then the most recent one that they made was Dona Dona, which was
Right.
considered one of the best visual novels of 2020.
Yeah.
What
What about a Housewife's Healing Touch prologue? Did you get the demo?
I know, I did not get the demo.
What about
I
the did you buy the DLC routes?
No, I did
Uh,
not. Well, if I
There's
didn't
a
buy the first initial game, I don't think I would have bought the DLC routes.
you have a Housewife's Healing Touch Pure Love route or a Housewife's Healing Touch NTR route.
Ah,
But it's like
There's
it's
classic.
like
a
you
like
didn't.
the
I
Pokemon
know you didn't.
editions.
It's like
Yeah.
I know you didn't buy the original, but
Sick.
have you bought the
Here you go,
DLC
Spire.
NTR route?
There you go,
Yeah.
Spire.
Right.
I'll link it to you.
All right.
Instead of like
There you
Pokemon Red and
go.
Blue, it's Vanilla and Rocky
Yeah.
Road.
What the hell is this? Is this actually
See,
Alice?
that's called a callback there.
Okay. All
Available
right.
May
Well,
20. Yeah, it's out. Wait, no,
dude,
May
this looks
27th.
this
It's next
looks
month.
okay. The art for this. Who's the artist for this? It has to be like one of
Uh,
those older
It's at
artists
Delasoft.
for. Yeah. Well, Soft itself
Man,
is an older visual or visual novel studio, so
I recognize this art, but I
I
don't
mean,
know
they
from
probably have
what.
the same like chief artist for or main artist for like for decades now, probably. But anyways,
There's
that
also
was
Uchikano. What, you know that?
which kind of what is
Living
that?
with my sister.
Artist
Uchi no Imoto.
Made. Who?
No, that wait, which kind of is with girlfriend,
But this
and
one's
you're saying
Uchi no
Uchino
Imoto.
Imoto.
Oh
Oh, it's the same
yeah.
series, is what you're saying. Yeah, I
You
don't.
figured it
I
out?
mean, when was this? Yeah, this looks like a very 2018, 2019 series.
This is the
Oh,
artist, by the way. I recognize him so.
Oh, okay, okay,
Oh,
okay. No,
nice.
yeah, I do. Yeah, a lot of this art
Oh,
seems
shit.
pretty standard here, but yeah. Anyways,
What the
I
fuck?
haven't been up to too much. I've been trying to again get back into Amakano, which is what I always say. But now that real life has slowed down quite considerably, now I can actually do stuff. So that would be nice.
Heck
Other
is
than that, I
Eternal
haven't been up to too
Alice?
much. So that's pretty much about it for me. What
What
about you,
about
Nier?
Eternal Alice, Aspire? What's your favorite work from
Eternal
Eternal Alice?
Colonel Alice. I haven't. Again, on my. What the fuck is this shit? Amateur. What is this? Is this like a Chinese group? What is this?
Is it? I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, moving on to Nier. What have you done these past 2 weeks?
Well, keeping up with gotcha shit. Little bit of Shadowverse here and there.
Uh-huh.
Other than that,
What's the Rolling Thunder rally?
the what? Oh, um, the Rolling Thunder thing was that the thing they did a while back where it was like fucking you had to like pay God, what was that? I forget what the setup was, but you had to like pay. I think you had to pay crystals to like play this mode, um, which is like the paid currency, by the way. Um, and then like, depending on like how many times you won, and you only get to lose twice, by the way, and then your run ends. But depending on how many times you win out of like, I think it was like fucking 10 games or something else, you get like different amounts of rewards. Um, and yeah, I didn't do that obviously, but yeah, it was some fucked up mode that did. I don't know if they're, but yeah. Other than that, I picked up this Eurojank RPG called Greedfall. It's pretty fun. It's kind of like old Bioware games, sort of. But other than that, not too much really. Just keeping up with shit. Um, watching. I've been watching a lot of stuff this season. I feel like this season is like probably the busiest season I've had in quite a while. There's a lot of stuff to watch this season. Um, but yeah, that's about
Yeah.
it for me.
Yeah, again, I think there's a pretty wide diversity. Again, there's not necessarily because it's Japanese anime, there's not necessarily a guarantee for whether the premise will, all land or even, even if it does land, it's or even if they do kind of, run out the premise properly, whether that premise will attract you or another person or whatever.
Yeah,
But I do want to say that this definitely has been the most uh I guess up on the surface at least, bountiful season that we've
yeah.
seen in a while. So, anyways, thank you, Nier. What about you, Dark? How have your past 2 weeks been?
You know, been watching a bunch still, keeping up with pretty much like kind of like everything. And still playing Fortnite. Still
The fixed Fortnite,
yeah,
right?
still playing the superior version of Fortnite.
Yeah,
Um
fucking dude. I forgot to I forgot to unsubscribe from the Fortnite crew thing, and I woke up today to an email me. Yeah, thanks for the money, dude. I was, oh shit.
God damn it.
hey, listen, the new month, cool skin, so,
It is a cool skin, but no.
So yeah, I've been doing that. Got really into ESO again. So there's that, uh, which has been something. Game is fun. Very, very
Elder,
Elder Scrolls. Huh?
didn't it used to be bad? How did it become good all of a
Yeah.
sudden?
Um, after I think it was like after they made it so that you can pretty much do any content in the game, like as far as the overworld and stories. But for like trials and stuff, you have to get like higher level and shit and gear. But as far as like just playing through like the casual, like very Elder Scrollsy quest content, you just do that whenever, uh, and that's been cool. Got good stories, good voice acting. It's got Dumbledore as the like main campaign, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, very, very, very fun game.
Okay. Anything else?
Pretty much it. Just a lot of ESO now.
All right, good. What about you, Toast? Past 2 weeks, please.
I don't know.
Not
Shit, what
much.
came out last 2 weeks?
Were there actually? I forget if there were decent. I mean, obviously, anime like the entire season is full throttle, but visual novel wise, haven't there been a couple of ones that I have to
Oh,
talk
you
about?
want to talk about visual novel? Hold on, let me pull up the
I'm
list.
not sure if I want to talk about visual novels this silly. I'm just remarking that if you had some interest in visual
What's
novels, when there are a couple that came out.
there's that what is it? DID Adventure Escape from the Abandoned Factory. I don't know. I think it's a bunch of Riona stuff, so I didn't look at it.
The fuck? Okay.
I don't know.
So anything else going on in your 2 weeks?
Day Alive 5 is pretty good. 5, 3, 4,
It's four. It's four, right?
4. It's all right. It's all right. Better than anything else this season so far, but it's okay. Also, I tried to play Data Life Spirit Pledge again after like what 2 years. It's gone. It's
Didn't
game's
it? Isn't
completely
it?
gone.
Isn't it shutting down or whatever?
It's completely gone.
But yeah.
But it's coming back as Data Life Spirit Pledge HD Global.
Wow.
So I don't know what the changes are, but I guess it's coming back. Oh, it's supposed to come back this June, so I don't know, a couple days from now,
Okay.
maybe. Hopefully my stuff carries over because I got Sheki no Toka, and that's she's an SS rare. If my stuff doesn't transfer over, I'll be upset.
Probably
Unless-
won't.
Probably won't. What else? What's it called? What's that show called? What is it? Freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush? It sucks. I hate it.
Well.
It's
Better or
not
worse than Vrains?
better, or no, worse, because it's super dumbed down. There was one episode where they didn't even duel. They were just talking about like, oh, this trap card, Torrential Tribute means. Was it Torrential Tribute or was it? I don't even remember. This trap card shows that when your monster declares an attack, you can change the attack target from this monster to this monster, and the main character is like, "Oh, sacrificing your friends to win the duel. I guess that's a form of friendship." And I'm like, "What?
Huh?
I don't know."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I
Just
not even
sacrifice your
regarding
friends.
your the main character's deck. I don't, which is dumb. It's kind of boring. Rush duels weren't even all that great. Super dumbed down stuff. I want to spend at least 2 to 3 hours in one duel. I mean, several episodes because they have to read off the card effects. I don't
Classic.
want this dumbed down 7-minute duels. I want full duels.
You gotta attract the younger audience,
Young
Toast.
audience sucks. They're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh. They're playing freaking
Uh,
Card Fight Vanguard or White Schwartz.
yeah. I mean, again, it's
Only
just a
real
sign of the
boomers play
times.
Yu-Gi-Oh. But I guess the silver lining is that there's a new manga coming out. And that's fun. The new manga being the Sky Striker manga, based off Sky Strikers. 'Cause that's a fun deck that's still meta. Sky
Okay.
Strikers are also in Master Duel, so those are fun to go against. What else? Oh yeah, the best anime opening came out this season. That was
Which
cool.
is
It's
which is
my what was the last one I had? That was the best anime this season.
I don't know.
I have no
What
idea.
was it? Cuckold's Fantasy. What's it called again?
What? Oh,
What?
Cuckoo?
What?
Oh, Kakko no Inuzuki or whatever it was called, right?
That's what it was, right?
I think.
Yeah. A couple of cuckoos. Right, that was the title. Yes.
Couple of
Okay.
cuckolds. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Nice.
I guess. Oh yeah, it's been dethroned by what is it? Marine Shuko. That's pretty good.
Okay.
I wonder how much we have numbers on how much that MV cost. How much did Kokko no Inuzuke's OP cost, huh? We gotta crunch the numbers to compare.
Yeah, I liked her other song more. So,
Do you like the MV of this one better?
I mean, it's nice. I kind of like the trippy visuals of the other one more.
You liked what's it called? What's it called?
I forget what it's called.
What is it called?
Unison.
Yeah, I guess. But I like this one because it's worth 50 million yen. 500
Yeah.
million yen. 50 million, 50 million.
Okay.
It's also made
Anything?
by the guy who did Sakura Tyson and One Piece openings, and we all know that
Oh,
Joe
okay.
loves that. So that's obviously why she got him. He's like, please make me MV. I only have this much money. And they're like, damn. But it was also animated by the Memories of Phantasm team. So there's Sencho again going with her Toho route. She's a real boomer with her face, and I'm like, damn, me too.
Okay.
There's been
Uh,
17 Memories of Phantasm. I need to catch up.
Anything else, Toast?
What else did I watch? Uh, what else did I watch? A bunch of stuff. I'll talk about it later.
Okay. Pretty good.
Yeah, but
Well,
yeah, as people have said, this season's pretty busy, pretty good.
yeah. There's a lot of flexibility to go around. A lot of series to check out. And on that note, again, going straight into things. How about we start with? Well, we'll actually start with Toast.
You know
What do
how
you
there's
have for
all right.
us?
You know how there's been ads, some fun ads going around YouTube recently.
About what?
No, I have ad block, so I haven't seen any.
To be fair, I do too. Well, I don't have it on my mobile phone,
What's
but
it
I do
called?
have.
I feel like YouTube just doesn't give me ads on.
Really? Wow.
I've never
Yeah.
gotten a
You,
Hololive ad, and I'm really upset that I
YouTube.
haven't.
I have.
What? I
I've
want
gotten
them.
just straight up videos as ads, which is very strange.
Yeah. No. Sometimes on if you don't skip, you'll literally get like 30-minute videos and
Yeah,
stuff like
it's
that,
just like, yeah,
and it's real obnoxious.
here's this like full like VTuber video. It's like,
I
what?
want those. Damn, give them to
But
me.
anyways, where are you going with this, Toast?
So sometimes when I'm scrolling the YouTubes, I get this ad for a Queen's Blade Limit Break, and I'm like,
Okay.
what?
I've never gotten that.
What?
I've gotten the Queen's Blade one once. Like, yeah.
I want some. Then I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then later on, when I'm on my phone, I get this I get the Taimani Nasagi Battle Arena. Was it? Is it Battle Arena? No. What's the Steam game?
Um, the Steam one
Action
is
Taimanin?
action.
Yeah,
Yeah.
action
I get
time. I mean,
I get Action Taimanin sometimes, and I'm like, oh, it's not as good as the original, huh? No thanks. So
Okay.
I guess what I'm saying is that these targeted ads are telling me I like ninjas. So Konoichis. And I'm like, okay, damn. And that's why I watched this show.
And which
why you
show
want
are
to
you
tell
actually
us what
talking
show?
about?
Oh,
Yes.
Taimanin Tsubaki no Mune no Uchi. That's a
Yeah.
show.
So Kunoichi Tsubaki
Oh
no
yeah,
Mune no Uchi.
Kunoichi.
And
Whoops.
It's not time. Taiwan is. Oh, time out. Toast.
Would be a little bit.
Yeah, today we're
Would be a little
covering
bit of a
time in
different
it.
news.
I'm literally thinking of time outside. We're not going down that road. It's in the heart of Kunoichi Tsubaki. It is
You
a
know what's
manga.
Pyre? I don't want to hear your sass. You don't even know what day it is today.
I apologize.
true.
It's true, man. It's
um,
if you guys don't know, it's April 30th right now, and everyone who is an American knows what day April 30th is. Even Near
so
knows. What does it inspire? Do you know? Do I have to
I
tell
have
you?
no idea. I'm really bad
It's
with
the
these things.
anniversary of Jack and Rose meeting each other at the was it Empire State Building or the Chrysler
Yeah,
Building?
I think it's the Empire State.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But honestly, it's the day our country was born, Spire. It's
what's
the inauguration of George Washington.
can we get on with the series, Toast? So this
So yeah,
is
about
the
George
manga
Washington.
adaptation, right?
All right.
And
So
what is this? Project number 9? I think it said it was, or no?
who's that?
No, this is Cloverworks actually. Yeah,
At
this is
Cloverworks. I
Cloverworks.
was
Sorry.
wondering where you're going with this.
Sorry. This is Cloverworks series or Cloverworks adapted from manga original, and there's a lot of names on the CU list. I was talking with Toast briefly about this, but I was wondering whether this was
But yeah,
almost a multimedia project.
if you guys don't know who Cloverworks Studio is, they've done some fun stuff. Like
Hmm?
they did the what is it? They did the Grand Order movies, right?
Did they?
I
think so.
forget. I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
They did the
Yeah.
Grand Order anime, Darling in the Franxx, really?
Yeah, no, but
Yeah,
that was one of the
they.
first series that they started with,
Well, they were still
wasn't it?
under A1
A1 at that
with
time. Yeah, exactly.
Starling and the Franks, and then
That was like their second, maybe. Yeah.
I think actually pretty much immediately after Darling and the Franks,
Hmm.
they left A1,
Split. Yeah.
which is kind
Damn,
of funny.
they got out of there fast, good. They also did the Promised Neverland.
Yeah.
They've done
guess,
a lot of big stuff.
I guess the last big one last season was Bisque Doll. That looked good.
Mhm.
Which goes into my segue. This series, it looks all right, I guess.
Okay, it looks okay.
I don't know. I mean, animation
They
wise, I
are
don't
also
have.
doing another series.
Which one?
What's the other series that they're doing?
Oh yeah. I get you. The
Yeah?
one.
All right. Oh, really?
Which we
I keep
will get
forgetting.
to.
Sorry, I apologize. Yeah, I keep
The one
forgetting.
rated
Yeah.
9.8,
You're right. Yes. Okay.
9.08 on Mall right now.
Really?
9.8.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's literally the biggest show this season.
Yeah. I
Well,
understand that, but
what?
I still think that like some like okay, I don't think you guys
He
understand
hates the
how
show.
little I trust my anime list people to do anything correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it could be the best series that anybody has ever seen, and it could be like 7 on Mall. It's like not as good as One Punch Man. It's like come on, guys.
I don't know. Is it as good as Kimetsu no Yaiba? I don't think so.
That is a good question.
Literally nothing
Anyways.
is.
Yeah. So, but anyways, we should go back to
Yeah.
Kunoichi. So, what
The
is the premise
series
about? Is it
series
episodic?
it's about the Akane clan of Kunoichi. I don't know how old they are. They're maybe like not middle age, middle schoolers and below, I guess. So it's an all-female clan of Kunoichi training to become
Okay.
Kunoichis. And then for the first episode, they're all like, "Oh, men are stupid, fat, and ugly, and don't associate with the Aoi clan, who even though they live on the same mountain." So I
Okay.
guess for generations, none of the Kunoichis have seen a man.
Okay.
So when Tsubaki goes off to find her two team members because they're wandering around, they're like, "Oh, there's men in these mountains. We're gonna beat them up and show them who's boss." So they encounter the shadow of a man. Like they don't want to show the dude's face, and they're like, "Oh,
Oh,
running away."
like a hentai protagonist or whatever, right?
No,
No.
no,
What are you talking
It's
about
a
when you say
completely a
shadow man?
shadow.
Oh,
Like
he's literally just like okay. I see what
a
you're saying.
silhouette. Like he's like, "Who's
Yeah.
there?" And
Okay.
then they run away. And then Tsubaki's like, "What's this? My heart is beating so fast." Like I guess she's like the whole point of the show is that Tsubaki's of age to be interested in men. I guess.
But aren't they middle
Even
schoolers? You said that they're middle schoolers, right?
yeah.
Okay. Anyways, go on.
Yeah, Spire, what are you trying to say?
Yeah? What's your point, dude?
Exactly. We're on the same page. Is what we're
I apologize. They're very conscious as middle schoolers should be. Sure.
I guess
Keep,
so.
keep going.
Because
Yeah.
it's adolescence, right? So whenever she hears the word boy, she starts to her face gets hot, and,
Tingle? Yes.
and
Okay.
I guess because she's of adolescent age, so that's when you
Okay.
learn about the birds and the bees, Spire. Don't you remember? But
Oh,
yeah, that
this. Oh, I don't. Okay. For some reason, this artwork really reminds me
it's
of like Zebek
Takagi-san.
art. Yeah,
Takagi-san
Takagi-san,
art.
like the forehead, but it also like the way the palette and like the shading is. It kind of reminds me of Zebek Studios works. You know what I'm talking about, right? Near?
Yeah, near.
Doesn't it remind
Tell
you
us about
of
the
like some of
foreheads.
like the
A little bit,
Zebek
yeah.
Zebek like Kanokon and like fan service kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
It kind of
Really?
yeah. Anyway, sorry, keep going. Toast.
I don't know. What fan service are you talking about? They're all flat little girls. No thanks.
No. I don't mean the design. I don't. I'm not talking about the
I
design.
mean, that's fan service to somebody, bro.
I'm talking about I'm talking about the shading and stuff like that. But anyways,
yeah, okay.
is this episodic?
We get you, Wink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty episodic. Each episode is cut into one or two different stories.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like here's one half of episode, and here's another half of the episode, and they're two different things.
hmm
And I guess there's 4 episodes right now, and
hmm
besides all the boy stuff, no.
what
Episode
is each mini episode centered around? Is it like this girl being like encountering like another shadow of a man and being like,
no,
oh,
the
they're the
only
new or what?
no, it's mostly interactions between her. It's slice of life.
Oh,
It's
between the
interactions.
girls. Okay,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, okay.
Like episode 4, the big reveal was they revealed why they there's that they're forced to not associate with men anymore, and I'm like, oh, that's a stupid reason, but I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
About it. Other than
Classic.
that, it's mostly like here's one character in this ninja village, and she's the main focus of this episode, and then next one, here's another character. Here's the main focus of that character.
Oh, so it's like it starts out with Tsubaki and they use her as like a focal point of character interaction, but
Yeah,
the actual mini episodes are based around each of the different girls, is what you're saying,
pretty much.
right?
They're like,
Okay.
oh, here's Tsubaki, and then oh, here's this character. Oh, what's her name?
Right.
Benny Sumo. She's
Mhm.
lazy, but turns out she's actually a hard worker, and that's her episode. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty standard, right? That's a pretty standard formula.
Oh yeah, the main character is Tsubaki. She's a member of Team Dog. Then you've got the Neisama little girl. What's her name? I don't fucking remember. Sazanka.
Uh-huh.
And then you got the fat tan one who always eats. Asagao. They're voiced by
Okay.
people, I guess.
They hired some
I
random
don't know any of
people.
these names.
Yeah, that's fine.
Who is it?
But
Tsubaki's voiced by Natsuyoshi Yuko. I don't know who this is.
I think because there are so many names, they probably did hire some like quite a lot of new blood as well, right? Or at least like smaller time, like people that haven't really come up yet on the up and
I
up
guess
yet.
she's
But there's a lot of big names here. There's like like
really.
half these.
I only see Koga Aoi, and that character hasn't appeared yet.
At least from the ones that I can like immediately like recognize the name. It's like Koga Aoi, Nanase Ayaka, Ito Ayasa, Yukimura Eri, Fighters Eye. Let's see
I haven't seen
this.
Fighter's Eye. Where was she?
Come on, she did joke. Come on, man.
In the anime? I don't Sumire. Who the hell's Sumire? I don't remember.
Oh,
It's like
in the actual, but no, I think each of these girls got like a small line, and this like line probably didn't cost that much. I don't think any of these girls got a lot of money for their work, except for maybe either. I'm betting the only people that got like significant amounts of money for like their few lines is probably Koga Aoi, Mao, and maybe Fairuzai or something like
there's
that. But other than that, I don't think any of them
you
got
know how
like some
Azur Lane
money.
had all these characters in the background? You know,
Yeah.
a lot. This is like that, except these background characters, they talk a lot more, so you can hear their voices in the background more clearly. Sometimes they even appear in episodes for like 1 to 3 seconds, say a line, and I'm like, that's cool.
That's how you save money as a production committee, man, or as the
But if you
producer.
expect me to remember other than maybe like 5 or 6 ish, then I'll say no.
Yeah, that's understandable. Sure. Overall, though, do you like the sort of tone and kind of the episodic nature?
I don't know, man. I don't like little girls and foreheads. I only took this one
Why'd you
because
watch it then? What,
What's that?
what were you expecting going in? If you didn't like foreheads and the girls.
I read the manga and I got bored of it within 5 chapters, so I'm like, all right, I'll give this a shot.
Oh, okay. You thought okay. Well, it was unfortunate
Is
and
it
didn't pan out.
since it's the same
Yes.
it's the same author as Takagi-san? Will I say it's better than Takagi-san? Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
You think this is better than
Yeah,
Takagi-san?
I do.
Oh,
No,
okay.
there's no thanks,
Okay,
bro.
that's cringe.
I don't like 8-year-olds teasing each other, and I'm like, we'll get married. And I'm like, damn, okay. I'll still say Takagi-san's better than that other show.
What's the other show?
Nagatoro. Yeah, I'll say Takagi's better than Nagatoro, but I like this one more because they got ninjas,
Are,
bro.
but all right.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not fake ninjas. They're actual ninjas. They do what's the Gyokaku no Jutsu and the shurikens and the substitution jutsu. What's that called again?
I think it's just like
What?
substitution. Isn't it?
No, it's
Are you talking
Kawarimi.
about
That's Kawarimi, right? Kawarimi no Jutsu. Yeah, I read Naruto. Yeah. So yeah. Speaking of the ninja stuff and Cloverworks, there's some fight scenes in this series. They're actually kind of good, pretty
okay?
good for a freaking slice of life. But I guess that's due to Cloverworks.
And also, probably they don't have how many. I mean, how many fight scenes do they have
Like
per
there was
episode?
one major fight scene where Tsubaki was fighting the pink-haired chick. See, I'm already forgetting Benny Sumomo, and I was like, oh, damn, that's better than was in the manga. So I guess there little tidbits of fights, but there's only been that major one. But it's like, okay, that's okay. So what is this series? Is this what Spire? Is this what you call coming of age, slice of life?
I think coming of age probably has a slightly different tone.
Even though Tsubaki's heart goes doki doki whenever she thinks about a man, even though she hasn't seen one.
But the focus isn't even from what you said. The focus isn't even doesn't even end up being like that, right? The focus just ends up being like the girls just doing random stuff. It's almost
So
like
far.
what is it? Senran Kagura esque in how it's structured, right? It's just like
Senran
oh, there are
Kagar
these
or what's that? What's the one with the about the island?
about the islands. What are you talking about?
Where the dude gets stranded on an island that goes nowhere. I don't even think it's over now.
I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I don't.
Oh yeah, it's Iron Toe, that one.
Oh,
Iron Toe. It's
oh
kind
yeah,
of like
yeah,
that.
Iron. Yes.
I don't even know if that's
Nagasareta
completed yet.
Iron To. Yes.
But yeah, I'm gonna say 90% slice of life.
I
Will
mean, yeah, this was almost expected coming in, I think. But yeah,
Will
it's a little different.
Tsubaki ever meet a boy ninja? Probably not. I don't think so.
I don't think that's the point of the series to begin
Yeah,
with,
it's not the point of
probably.
the series. It's like, oh, Tsubaki likes is interested in boys. Anyway, here's the rest of this freaking huge cast. I'm like, why is there so many Kunoichis in this series? Is it for fetish reasons? I guess.
Well, I mean,
When-
I think the fetish itself is pretty obvious from
It's like
from just
here,
looking at what's
there's
happening.
like 60-ish, 40. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not gonna count.
Right.
I mean, they dress. Why? How come the big boob ninjas dress more modestly compared to the Flat ninjas, huh? What's up with that, Spire?
Yeah, they gotta provide more fan service on the bigger boob ninja end.
It's like there's a lot of belly shots, and then there's the one chick who wears what, the mesh
Mhm.
with her shirt open, but she's got no boobs. So I'm like, oh, guess someone likes that.
Yeah, I mean it's an I'll say interesting set of it's like trying to masquerade pretty hard as a slice of life, but it's pretty evident that it's just like Senran Kagura-ish with like younger girls. I'm
I don't
guessing.
know,
I haven't
man.
watched it.
I don't know, man. I prefer Senran Kagura more than this because those ninjas got big boobs,
I mean, I'll believe you.
and I'm not into little girls, so it's like your forehead's cool,
What
but
was that? What was as far as like, I'll believe you on that one. Yeah, I've never
No.
never
I
seen
believe.
Senran
I was.
Kagura
I wasn't. I
before.
wasn't doubting him, but I was just like, oh no, I'll believe you when you say you like Senran Kagura more because it's probably true because I don't know. Like this one seems pretty
I like
suspect.
Senran Kagura. I like Keijo. So it's
Okay.
like you're trying to tempt him with the sexy no jutsu in this series. No thanks.
All
Like
right.
that
Well,
big old forehead.
anything
That's about
else,
it.
Toast? Okay. Okay. Pretty good.
Yeah. What about other than being, the art style aimed towards giant fort Code Lyoko lovers over here, and it's like and little girls. Series, it's all right. It's a good slice of life. I don't have any qualms with the story.
Okay.
I'll rate it. I'm gonna rate it an 8 out of 10. If you like,
Yeah, okay. Sure.
what does that
All right.
mean?
Why would you didn't really like it, right? Why did you rate it an
You're
8
like,
out
it's
of 10?
okay, 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I don't really have any glaring problems with it. That's the problem. It's a nice, refreshing
Okay.
change of pace for what I have to endure for the rest of the season.
All
It's
right.
like, all right. I'm
All
just,
right.
like, it's like even though I prefer my Senran Kaguras and my Taimane Nasagi's, it's like if you want to watch this series for the reason I watched Senran Kagura, then more power to you. But like don't talk to me. I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't want to hear about, oh, I want to lick Tsubaki's forehead, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, bro, chill.
What? Who says
Yeah,
that?
the messages you
What?
just casually send your homies every now and then.
Who said? Anyways,
Or like,
thank
oh,
you.
you know how ninjas don't wear sandals. Let me get on those. That toe flavor, and I'm like, oh, okay.
What the?
The fuck?
Which
Who are you
what discourse
talking
are you
to that's
in?
saying this to you? Like,
Yeah. Anyways, thank you, Toast, for sharing again. What's the title? In the Heart of Kunoichi Tsubaki or
Yeah,
Kunoichi
it's
Tsubaki no
fine.
Mune no Uchi.
I don't
It's fine.
have. I like it better than Takagi-san. That's
Okay.
because I prefer ninjas. If you like Takagi-san, you might actually like this. Sure, why not?
I
I
don't know
like.
if Takagi-san is catering to a specific fetish
I don't know,
necessarily.
dude. Have you seen those foreheads?
I guess, but I guess. But anyways,
yeah, but
thank
I
you,
mean, that
Wow,
doesn't
Toast.
wow.
really, that's not much of a difference from this series, then, though.
Oh, there's not much teasing though. It's like, oh, here's your ninjas, and I'm like, oh,
But yeah, I
okay.
just mean forehead wise. Seems like this show is also very heavy on that.
Wow, wow, Pyo, why don't you're gonna call out our friend, our dear friend in the Discord like that, even though I didn't mention
Reese's
him by
for.
name? I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you, Toast, for helping to cover In the Heart of Kunoichi Tsubaki or Kunoichi Tsubaki no Murenoichi. By this is manga adaptation adapted by Cloverworks. A lot of people, I guess, if you want to watch ninjas with
It's
foreheads doing slice of life
harmless.
stuff,
It's
then
harmless.
yeah, I guess go through it.
Unless you like it that way, then I don't know, man.
I
Don't
don't know
tell
what
me.
that means by that way, but I'm gonna demur.
Oh, you know.
Anyways, I have no. I don't want to know. I don't know what that means. Anyways,
Yeah,
next on the
I
list.
got you. Wink.
uh, Near, what do you have for us today?
Um, shit. So, I watched a little series called. Let me pull this up.
Just to say it. Yeah.
This is Paripi Koumei, also known as your boy Kongming.
Yes.
Yeah, the true
Ne-
title.
And you have to say it that way exactly, your boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
And
those
it's
who
manga,
aren't
right?
who
So,
aren't caught up in Chinese stratagem, who
stratagems.
is Kongming?
So Kongming
Mhm.
is Zhuge Liang,
Mhm.
who was basically like the like great strategist behind the Shu Kingdom,
Yeah.
Or
in the
the three kingdoms, right?
yeah,
I
in the
played
Romance of the
Dynasty
Three
Warriors.
Kingdoms.
Yeah, essentially whenever you think about whenever like Asian people make like a stereotype about like a general like smart person, right? Like you usually end up making references to Zhuge Liang.
Yeah.
That's just how.
So Zhuge Liang was
What about Sun
basically
Tzu, dude? The fuck?
yeah. Zhuge Liang is essentially like the uh in terms of like ancient like Chinese history, he's kind of just like he's really written to be like you know the smartest man alive. Basically, like he's just
Exactly.
so fucking. He's like so smart that he was able to fucking see the future. Basically, and
Yeah, the infamous like he there. I think there's a reference in the anime with this, right? But it's
yeah,
If
he
he's so
he
smart,
before he
how can
dies, he
he
writes a bunch of like tactics, and like some of them were apparently specific to like the future battles, right? He
yeah,
writes writes tactics slash solutions, puts them in a pouch. He dies, or he before he dies, he tells who was it? It was who did he tell at the time? It was like one of his lesser like strategists, right?
yeah,
Strategists to open them and pull the strategy out whenever he's stuck in battle, right? And then Zhuge dies, and the sort of lesser strategist opens it before battle, and he's like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" Because it
yeah.
essentially like won the battle for him. There's like myths and rumors like that, like stories like that.
Oh, why would you call him a lesser strategist?
Because that was literally the setup,
Because
like
literally anybody
originally.
that's not Zhuge Liang is a lesser
Yeah,
strategist.
exactly. That's how the
In
story
the
is in the
eyes of
romance.
Romance of the Three Kingdoms, like anybody that's not Zhuge Liang is a
Yes.
fucking loser.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and as it goes with many
Mhm.
ancient Chinese historical figures, pretty much all of the feats that are attributed to him probably didn't happen, but
Mhm.
Or were
it, you know,
like 30 different people.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's just the way that ancient Chinese history goes. But anyway, so this is a PA Works series.
Yes.
Um, the PA Works series of the season, and it is a uh like not really an isekai, but so the basic story is after Zhuge Liang dies in ancient China.
It kind of is isekai because he goes to Japan, right?
I mean, in a way, yes. But you know, so after Zhuge Liang dies, uh, he essentially immediately wakes up in Japan, modern day Japan, and um, he basically just goes on adventure, like trying to figure out where the fuck he is. At first, he thinks he's in hell, because he like when he first wakes up, I guess it's like Halloween or whatever, and everyone's in costumes, right? So he
Right,
thinks it's
exactly.
hell. And then he stumbles into a club and he hears this girl singing, and he basically becomes entranced, right? Like
Mhm.
he gets the fucking epic anime moment where everything
The
sparkles
Ratatouille
around him,
moment.
and
The Ratatouille feed.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
he sees Lupe again, and you know bunch of stupid shit.
Yeah.
What's that
But
one Korean time travel K drama that everyone likes? What is it
I
called?
have No, I
Where the
feel
where
like I
some
know what you're talking about, but I don't
it's
actually.
on Netflix.
Okay.
Rooftop Prince, is that it?
I don't know.
I don't
Anyways,
know.
Near.
Yeah. So after he hears this girl singing, he gets fucking blackout drunk and he falls asleep in the street. Um, and then that girl, finds him in the street and then brings him home so that way he doesn't fucking, die in the street, basically.
Right.
And then he basically devotes himself to helping her achieve her dreams. He basically becomes her manager, and then the series is sort of just uh, them going from her being like basically a nobody singer to her dream of being on the big stage of like the biggest music fest for like Japan or whatever.
Right.
Um, and it basically just goes from there. Um, I don't know if I'd really call this like a music series because it's kind of just like the music's not really like that much of a focus as much of it's sort of just like
Is
growing.
is
Like,
Koumei like trying to solve problems essentially? That's
yeah.
pretty much it.
So the basic structure of an episode is, um, they're presented with a problem. Kongming will basically be like, "Yeah, back in my day, I did this fucking super awesome strategy because I'm super smart." Um, and then it just so happens that that exact strategy that they were talking about earlier somehow translates to the modern day and works
Mhm.
in uh, works towards the goal of essentially getting fans and followers to what's his name, Aiko.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good. I mean, it's a really fun setup. It's a really fun
Mhm.
formula. The characters are really fun. Um, so you
But
have
the thing is like the whole like Zhuge references aside, the premise itself is not like super like whack or whatever it is, right? It's still
yeah,
standard. Like
it's fairly
there's a
simple.
smart guy that is like
Yeah,
helping the other guy, the person out, and he's from like an unexpected field, right? It's like the whole thing where it's like, um, this guy, like a classic example in like a Japanese manga would be like, this guy's like a gamer, but then he's like a gaming god, and then he uses his gaming god
He's
skills to
just
help.
like pixels with
Yeah,
Adam
yeah,
like
Sandler, is what
basically.
you're saying?
yeah. It's
Oh,
like the world god only knows, right? It's like, oh, I'm gonna help you out because I'm a gaming god or whatever it is, right? But it's
Yeah,
with Jiggling, yeah. So
yeah. And so yeah, the basic like setup and premise is fairly simple, and then it's elevated obviously by the fact that you're dealing with fucking Zhuge Liang in the modern day. So, me personally, I'm quite a big fan of Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Um, and there's obviously a lot of references to Romance of the Three Kingdoms. And um, that's mostly done between obviously Zhuge Liang himself and uh, the character that's basically just referred to as owner, which is like the boss of the club
yeah,
that
he's like
Aiko,
following Jiggling around. Yeah.
yeah, that Aiko and Zhuge Liang work at. And the only reason that he gets a job at this club is because like the owner is a huge fucking Romance of the Three Kingdoms nerd, like
Hmm.
like a massive fucking nerd, and they're constantly like like he's constantly splurging about Romance of the Three Kingdoms, and then Zhuge Liang's just like, yeah, that was me, dude. Um,
It me.
yeah. So a lot of the character interactions are really really fun. Um, and yeah, I mean the premise is good. Uh, the sort of progression and pacing, I guess, is basically just again they're going from small stages at like little venues and stuff to obviously the ultimate goal of uh the big stage, right?
Mhm.
And the first like four episodes basically set up as they do the small stages and then they get to this like art fest and then um they do the strategy shit where she gets from a tiny crowd to like this huge crowd, and then I guess the owner, or like the guy that runs this
Mhm.
festival, um, like Aiko like catches his eye, right, and he's like, like you've got talent or whatever, and then he gives her the option to play at one of two other like venues that he runs. One of which is a bit of a smaller venue, and the other is like this huge venue. And the catch with for the huge one is that in order to get in, she has to get like 100,000 likes on like a post or some shit.
Mhm.
Uh, they just say like 100,000 likes challenge, but they don't really specify if it's on like one thing or not. But they set it up as basically like only one group has like actually gotten into this festival like via the 100,000 likes challenge. So like her taking that is like a huge risk or whatever. Um, but she's got the dream of being on the big stage, so she takes that, and
Mhm.
then like that. I guess the next few eps from here is probably going to be them focusing on that. Um, but yeah, uh, like the basic formula is good. The character interactions are really good.
How's the music since it's
So the music is interesting because it's all in English, um, and it's very obviously Japanese people singing it. Um,
Like some Guilty Gear shit.
yeah, so it's pretty English.
is
The
that good
music's
English?
it's not bad. The music's pretty solid. Like it's a lot of it's basically just pop. Um, like there's
'Cause it's just
some
like party time and stuff like that, right?
yeah,
It's just like
there's some EDM here and there, but the episode 4, Zhuge Liang says that in order to like achieve this like 100,000 likes challenge, they're going to need a rapper, uh, like as like a duet or something. I'm not sure
right.
what they're gonna go with it, but yeah, there's gonna be some rap coming up, which I hope to God is in English because that would be fucking amazing.
Honestly,
Um,
I hope it's something like the infamous Zombieland Saga episode, right?
yeah,
That was really good. That was
yeah.
fucking great.
But
But
yeah, the music's pretty. It's I mean it's all right. Like it's not a super big focus. A lot of it is kind of just like the music is sort of happening in the background as like either introspective dialogue is going on, or like two other characters are talking in the crowd. You know, um, they never really kind of just do like a full on like insert song or anything. It's kind of just like yeah, music's happening. Um, so but it's okay. I mean, it's not like it fucking hurts my ears or anything. But I don't think I'd really go and listen to it on its own
mhm.
personally. Um,
I think also, if I may interject a little bit, it's not really that this series. I mean, it has like almost, how to say this, like obligatory. That's not the word I was looking for. It's like tribute. It's almost like tribute level. Like, oh yeah, I guess it's about like music and stuff like that. But it's not really like
yeah,
It's a very
it's
thin
not like a
layer. The
it's not a
central
music
idea.
series. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, and it's just like, again, it's like how the world God only knows. It's not really about like the gaming god and like the dating sims stuff like that. It's like it's a very thin layer, and the inside core is just like this girl wants to be, is like kind of emotional, or like she has her problems and she's kind of like going through them, and Zhuge Liang ends up being her savior, right? And
yeah,
he helps her through the various things, and it builds the story on that, but it's not really about like them partying and being in the music and stuff like that. It's like
yeah,
that's a very thin layer.
yeah. It's sort of just the backdrop to
Right,
tell
exactly.
the story, right? Um, but yeah, I mean it's good.
I saw the songs though. The songs look pretty good.
I
I
mean,
mean, he's
yeah,
not saying it's not is
they're
they're
not
bad.
bad.
Yeah, it's just that
It's
they're not the focus. It's
yeah,
clear that it's not the
like
focus.
they're usually sort of happening in the background,
Mhm.
as dialogue is going over them. But yeah, um,
Mhm.
The
I
songs
heard
are the
there's.
songs are fun.
Well, is it true that there's 2 voice actors for Eiko?
I mean, probably.
One
I
one
don't.
for
I don't
her
know.
talking and one for her singing.
I wouldn't doubt it. Again, all of the songs are in English. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if fuck who voices Eiko. Kaide Hondo. Like, I wouldn't be too surprised if she was like, yeah, I'm not entirely confident in singing a fully English song. You know what I mean? Like, um, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's like 2 separate like voice actors, one for like dialogue and one for singing. But I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay.
But yeah, overall, audio visuals. Again, the music, like it's like it's trying to sort of play itself off as a music series. So obviously the music is serviceable. It's solid. Um, but again, it's not really like the focus. I think overall, I mean, this series has like the best OP of the season. I think that's
Yeah, it's real good.
yeah, like it's fucking godlike. But like as for like the soundtrack, I mean, it's pretty standard outside of like the concert stuff. In terms of visuals, I mean, it's PA Works. It looks good. There's a couple spots that are a little spotty. Um, but I mean, overall, it's very good looking.
Yeah, I mean, again, at the end of the day, it is PA Works. So
Yeah.
Here's a question. Here's a question here. Is Eiko best girl of this season so far?
So far, I mean, probably out of the stuff I've watched, I'd say yeah. Although
That's fair.
I haven't watched Spy Family yet, so
Oh well,
but yeah.
Have you
Overall,
seen the posts about what's her name? Anya, right?
yeah.
Seen the poster saying like, "Oh, Anya is the best waifu of this season," and I'm like,
Can't say that.
you're right there, buddy.
Yeah,
You
I don't
can't.
know.
You can't say
what?
that. You're not.
I don't
You're
know.
not
I don't know
allowed
if that person
to
saying that
do that.
realizes what the term waifu means. It's not just like a female character. There's a little bit more context to it, but yeah.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Are they like having a stroke and they mean like your?
Probably not. But yeah. Yeah, overall, the show is really good. Like,
Mhm.
I'd say, I mean, P Works, track record has been pretty bad lately.
Mhm.
So
Although
I
they
think
have improved somewhat.
a little bit. I'd say this is definitely a very big step in the right direction.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's good.
Does this
It's
have
nice to see
does this
what
have an English dub?
I
maybe.
feel like it
Not yet.
does. No, wait. I feel
Not
like it
yet.
does, doesn't it?
I don't
No, it
know.
doesn't.
Does it
I
have
don't know
if it
who's
has a
No, it
I don't know
doesn't.
who's
Yeah.
licensing it. So
if
No, it
because if it had
doesn't.
a simul dub, it'd be like near. Tell me how are these songs in English?
probably they
English,
probably
they
won't be
probably
great.
wouldn't do that.
I mean, they might redub them again. Like the songs are in English, but like they might redub them because it's just like to have the voices be
Maybe.
consistent. But yeah, the show's good. It's nice to see PA Works actually pick up a solid series for once. Yeah,
Well,
you should watch it. It's fucking
what
good.
was the last PA Works series that they made that you're referring to here?
What? That's
You
like
s-
the last bad PA Works series. I mean, just look at
Yeah.
their last like fucking like what? I mean, we have fucking
There's a
you
lot.
have you have The Day I Became a God. You've got fucking 2 seasons of Fairy Gone. You have
Oh God, I forgot Day Became a God was a thing. Ah,
yeah.
oh.
You have
Near
It
Uma
had it
Musume.
had like okay potential too, and then it just
yeah.
ran over the entire story with the truck in the last like
Yep.
three
In the last
episodes.
like fucking 2 episodes, basically.
You remember when we covered this, right?
Yes,
It
I
was like
do, because I was
I was literally asking you like, hey, have you were like, because you were like, this is a pretty
yes,
good
I was
series.
very positive on it.
Yeah,
Like
and then
I was
I
like,
literally asked
this
you
is
in the
pretty
middle of
good.
the podcast, like, have you watched the end of the series, dear? Or like, have you watched the latest episode yet? And you're like,
Yeah, and I
no.
was
I'm
like,
like,
no.
you might want to give us another review after you watched it.
Yeah, and then the episode immediately afterwards, I was like, this is the worst fucking series I've ever watched. Like,
Man, Near, didn't you also cover Irazuku Sekai, the color one?
yes, I did, and that show was fucking dog shit
It
as
was
well.
not good. Yeah.
Man,
Anyway.
man, I can't believe the last good series they made was what, Shirobako and Uma Musume.
Yeah. More.
Oh God, True
Yeah,
Tears.
that's
Why
pretty
does this
much.
keep appearing in my memories?
Soccer Cross was okay too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Didn't
it
you?
was
Well,
Sakura Request, yeah, Sakura Request was pretty good.
So was
wasn't
Paripi, but
yeah,
again,
okay.
like
best, but it wasn't.
the like,
they're still on probation. They are
yeah,
still.
like their
The
lows.
Aqua Club on White
Sakura
Sand
Crest
was
was
like
also a
barely.
fucking decent time ago too. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
that
but yeah,
was
like fucking PA Works' lows have been just like absolutely fucking abysmal. Like
the
losing
the
faith in humanity tier, like just
the
garbage.
worst part was like there was a time where like PA Works was like you. It was almost like Kyoani levels of like you don't bet against the house kind of thing. Like it was
Yeah,
just like, oh yeah, this is PA Works. Let's go. Like trust it and watch. But now it's just like you can't do that. You can't trust them. No trust. Zero trust.
yeah.
But anyways, any last words on your boy Kongming or Paripi Koumei here?
Um, no, I mean it's good. I think I think even if you're not like I think even if you're not really into Romance of the Three Kingdoms, this is still very
Yeah,
much
yeah.
worth watching.
Yeah,
Um,
Prince of the Universe in chat actually was talking about that earlier. It's like he's not like us nerds, who are like, frothing at the mouth whenever they hear,
yeah,
but
because
he didn't know anything much about anything, and he still enjoyed the series, and I think that's a very good thing. That's a very
yeah,
good.
because the way they present sort of like the Romance of the Three Kingdoms like trivia, if you could
Right.
really call it that. It's more references, right? Um,
Mhm.
because like it's
It's
not
like
just
very
like
brief references. Yeah.
yeah, it's not just like Zhuge Liang being like, yes, you know, in this year I did this strategy, and it's not like they only just name drop this strategy and then just move
Right.
on and like
Right.
expect you to know. Like they
Right. Right.
explain like what happened, like what the feat of fucking stratagem was, um, and sort of how it went down, and then they like you know very obviously tie it back into like how it's playing out in the modern day in
Right. Right.
like the context of getting fans to listen to Eiko, right?
Mhm.
So it's not presented in a way to where it's like, yeah, you need to know like what happens in Romance of the Three Kingdoms to be able to follow this. Like it tells you, right?
Right.
So
Exactly.
um, you know, if anyone's like worried about like, oh, I don't know who the fuck Zhuge Liang is, like, this series lets you know, right? Like it'll tell you. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like this show's good. It's really fucking good. Um, and yeah, you should watch it.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, thank you very much, Nier. Again, covering one of the more, I guess, on the it's definitely one of the series that's like on the watch list of many. I think this
Yeah,
season, like even if you're not a fan of Romance of the Three Kingdoms, the sort of wonkiness of the series might attract you. But yeah, it definitely. Thank you very much for covering it, quite thoroughly. And I guess I'll go next here. I'm going to be covering Love After World Domination. This is another sort of bigger series that's on the horizon, or that was on the horizon during our previews. This is manga original here. Japanese title is Koi wa Sekai Seifuku no Ato de. So plot summary here. Fudo Aikawa, Aikawa Fudo, and Magahara Desumi, Desumi Magahara are in love. There's only one small problem. They are mortal enemies. Fudo is a Red Ranger and leader of the fighting force Gelato 5, while Desumi is the Reaper Princess of the evil organization Gecko. So this is like a full like Sentai, like a mock Sentai Rangers setup. To make matters worse, neither of them have ever been in a relationship before. They have to keep their budding romance a secret while figuring out how to be in a relationship and juggle their real life responsibilities along the way. So, this is done by, I believe, Project Number 9, which is why I was confusing Toast a little bit earlier as I was looking at another page. I believe this is Project Number 9, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, Project Number 9. The director is kind of hasn't done, I mean, he's done like small stuff here and there, but this is his first major um series. He's done like a weird like little ONA that wasn't related to Project Number 9, but he brought like one person along from that project, and the other people, the main people doing like the music and the scripts and stuff like that, are all actually like they're not like they don't have like big resumes, so they're actually like smaller people. He's gathered like a kind of ragtag band of people from there, and the anim but the except for the animator, except for the sorry, not the animator, the character design person who is a veteran, and yeah, so it's like a much like smaller time team here coming together, but they've done a pretty good job so far, I would say. Uh, what else? The voice acting cast, pretty standard, or not standard, but pretty good cast here. Hasegawa Ikumi, doing Desumi here, and I think she's gotten quite a few roles this season. Kobayashi Yusuke, Ayane Sakura, let's see, Yasumoto Hiroki. Oh, Yasumoto Hiroki is doing the villain, one of the villains in The Bear. That's pretty good. I forgot. Kanemoto Hisako. What is this? Hanazawa Kana, Okitsu Kazuyuki, Mao. Mao's also getting a few roles this season. Saoshiro Miyuki, Hieda Nene, Hitakarina doing the Pink Ranger, the Lolly. And she does, I want to say, like, I don't know what it is about like Hitakarina, but like she does this like very, I don't know, like it's like, I mean, she can do the lolly role too, but it's like the middle school, like elementary, like like you have to like hear her to like understand this, but it's like the weird like middle school role that's not like full like baby talk, you know what I mean? It's like the actual like young girl role. She
Yeah.
does that really fucking well for some reason. I don't really understand why. I guess it's the register. And Tomokazu Sugita, so they're bringing in the comedy team for the villains here. So
Who's Tomokazu Sugita?
yeah, who is this mysterious man?
Isn't he a VTuber?
But yeah, so pretty good lineup all around on the voice acting side at least. So in the whole Love After World Domination, the pacing is quite, or the setup is quite quick. What happens is that the story quickly kind of goes into, okay, well, the Red Ranger falls in love with Desumi, the Reaper Princess, the villain, one of the villainesses, or one of the evil general villain people in on the evil side, the villain organization, and courts her and woos her. And this is all pretty much done in the first episode. So they're trying to get rid of the setup real fast and then going into like episodic stuff, right, in the later episodes. So they go through the setup in the first episode, you know, I want to go out with you. And the villainess accepts, because although she's like, she does the usual, like, I'm like this, like, harsh, violent, villainous girl. Would you really want to go out with a girl like me? And then the Red Ranger's like, of course, you seem like a perfectly normal girl, and I'll accept everything of you. And they go out together, and that's the quick setup. And after that, starting from I believe the latter half of episode 1 onward, it's pretty much all just episodic. Like, oh, let's go on a date, let's hold hands. oh, I'm jealous because you look like you're going out with other girls or whatever it is, right? Stuff like that. It's a very standard episodic stuff. But what I realized here was, and what this series, I mean, this series, like the episodic stuff is like the romance comedy stuff is very, very like vanilla, cheesy kind of stuff. It's like very, oh, let's hold hands. Oh, let's go on a date. Oh, I like you. Oh, you're everything to me. I'll accept anything. We're just us. We can just be ourselves and love each other like that, and we don't need to be anybody else. It's the usual like cheesy, very like Disney kids kind of stuff going on. So that's whatever. Like I don't really mind that. But what I realized with this series, and that's interesting to me from a sort of plot analysis, like kind of series evaluation perspective, was so yes, that demo talk is supposed to be really good. By the way, they're both high school students, I think. Apparently. So um but yeah, going back to sort of evaluating the series and the plot, what I realized that I got a lot of value out of the series was it added like it adds in like not even a layer, like sprinkles, a general sort of like powdering of character development in the back. Like the whole like the main couple kind of getting together and being like, oh, we trust each other, you know you shouldn't be jealous, I'll never betray you, stuff like that's the whole like standard thing, right? So that doesn't matter, that's not even like character development at this point to me. It's just like the standard, like, you know let's just go through the paces of the rom-com. But the fact that the author sprinkles this sort of general character development of the supporting cast. Like there's a part like the bear, for instance, the bear general army villain dude starts getting like more and more of a comedic role in the later parts of the episode. And then the Yellow Ranger kind of chips into, the general interactions between him and the female heroine, right? And I guess the villainess, right, in this case. And then the Pink Ranger later, again, I guess this is slightly spoilers, but later in episode 3, right? Or not episode 3, sorry, episode 4, gets involved, and there's a little bit of character development to her. And I realized that after the Pink Ranger character development part, I was like, hey, it's not like they're going super in depth into each of the characters and like kind of doing side, like kind of taking 5 or 10 minutes of the episode to kind of just talk about the Yellow Ranger or talk about like the Bear General. It's not like they're doing that. They're just like giving a little bit of development here, a little bit of development there, allowing them to kind of seep into the character interaction, allowing them to seep and affect the mini episode, right? In their own way. But that sort of sprinkling, that sort of like, it's like salting. It's like the author is like adding a bit of spice, adding a bit of salt just to affect the taste a little bit, and it adds so much value to the series. I was like, damn, like the way the author does this cheesy thing, if it was just this cheesy episodic um rom-com, right? If it was just straight up playing like a one of those standard yonkoma, right? Like almost like a komi-san or whatever else other yonkoma, where it's like they're just running the same shtick over and over again, I'd have been like kind of whatever. But the fact that it kind of adds in this character development like gently, but like frequently enough and early enough in the series, such that I'm like, oh dang, the cast is alive and the cast is helping kind of really flesh out this, not world, but this like network of people, and making it more fun to watch this general series. I really like that part about the writing. And so I guess not necessarily what this series taught me, but what this series reminded me of was that again, it's just like character development, like supporting character development is like spices. It's like if you don't necessarily need to like have the supporting characters like jump in all the time and do like take airtime, screen time away. That's like if you do too much of that, it becomes like index, right? Where you're just like, oh, the magic faction versus the church faction versus the occult faction versus the science faction, blah 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 blah, and it becomes like too hectic.
Yeah, versus
Um,
the 7 different mercenary
yeah,
factions.
the other, yeah,
Too.
exactly. And then the churches is like the Catholic, the Protestant church is like the Methodist church. It's
Yeah,
like, where's the
every
Presbyterians?
church
Where's the
with its little
where's the
bell.
Yeah, exactly. So if you add in too much of that, it becomes too distracting. Again, like spices, right? If you add too much of that, but it's like if you add a bit of the character development there, not enough to distract from the main couple and the sort of main plot line or the main mini arcs / mini episodes. i- if you do a little bit of that, it just goes such a long way. And I think this series does a very good job. I wouldn't say that this series does like a super good job of like its main plot necessarily. I think it does a solid job, but I'm not like, wow, this rom-com is so like I'm dying to watch this all day. It's not like that. It's like a B plus kind of thing going on. It's like decent, but the supporting character development that kind of layers up, that kind of butters up the general value of the story is done quite well in the series. And I would I think that just to see this sort of mix going on, you guys should check it out. I do think that overall the main core plot is pretty decent, but again, the way the author writes in some of the general sort of layers and the supporting cast is quite well done. So
What's
that's
your
pretty
rating,
much all.
Spire?
What? Yeah,
Your
that's
rating.
I would rate it probably a 7.5 or 8. I do think again it's like the I'm not that impressed by the whole like vanilla cheesy kind of nature of the wrong. It's like it's not very flat, but it's like it can get flat sometimes um with the main plot, but I do think again the organic nature of the
But
surrounding cast
Spire hates.
works
Spire
well.
hates vanilla.
Yeah. You gotta. Anyways,
If why did you pick this series if you don't like vanilla and tokusatsu, Spire? What's wrong with you? Tell us about the tokusatsu parts.
Yeah, how much
Yeah,
tokusatsu references are there? Because, or rather,
I mean,
how heavy is it
it's
on
pretty standard. It's pretty standard where it's like it's not gonna do it like it's not like Nyaruko levels of references, although
right?
nothing ever will be. But
Yeah,
it's like the standard like they have the arm like the gadgets right, and then they do the henshin and then they do the shining like transformation. And it's like,
do
phew,
they say the
yeah.
lines? Do they say the lines? What's the transforming line, Spire?
You mean like stuff like henshin or like what are you
Yeah,
talking
how do
about?
they say it? Do they?
They just say like they say the like their meme like because it's like the
What's the line? What's the
gelato
line?
5 or
We have to
whatever.
know.
It's like frozen transformation or something like that. I forget. I forget what the exact line was. It's like frozen transform or something like that, and then they go like charge gelato or whatever it is. They have like their whole like gelato themed like
So
lines and
they don't
everything.
say let's morphing or let's henshin.
No, they don't. It's like it has something to do. Their initial line has something to do with like transform or something like that, but it's not like let's. Yeah, it's
What's
not.
your favorite
Yeah, okay. Do
transformation
you
line,
think
Spire?
is there an English dub for this that
No,
says it's morphing time?
Yeah,
that would be great.
they better.
But the thing is, it's also like again, it's all the lines are like gelato related, so they have to work that into the English dub if they do the English dub as well. Like the
is it is it like majority like a Power Rangers vibe, or is there like Kamen Rider shit too?
Well,
uh,
you could
so
say the main villains are Kamen Rider-esque. They're what the Shocker troops, but they're Sentai, so it's a mix, I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah,
It's mostly just like very stereotypical Sentai leaning into Power Rangers
See,
vibe here.
see, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't know the references. Why'd you pick this series if you don't? If you can't name out the references when you ask Spire?
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
What percentage of Ultraman is this series?
What percentage? What exact percentage?
Yeah. What's
27 or
the percentage
51%?
split between Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and Power Rangers?
I don't think. I mean, it's it's
Why
quite
why
clear
why are
they're doing
they
a very casual run through
why
of
are
it.
they
But
always with their helmets off, Spire? Name the series in which the cast usually
I don't
name
think
the
that's a
reason
reference
why.
to the. I don't think the helmet's off is a reference to. I think the helmet's
Spire, there's
off is
always a
simply because
reason why they don't have their helmets on. It's a very obvious Super Sentai meaning. Don't you explain it? Why don't you explain it?
I have no idea. I don't. I
This guy,
don't Sentai very much, so
this,
or at all really.
this guy doesn't know about the final roll call.
But yeah, oh yeah, yeah, but it's like everything, all like the attack names and like the transform names are all like gelato
What's your
related. So
favorite?
it's
What's
like
your favorite attack name?
there was this one thing where
Who,
it's like
who's your
there was a
favorite
fight.
character too?
I don't know if I have a favorite character. Maybe Yellow Ranger or like Pink Ranger with that because that's Hidakarina, I guess. But um,
All right,
but
fair.
the what is it? So the fight scenes don't really happen that much. Like there's like a few, like there'll be like a minute of like a fight scene or like 30 seconds to a minute of like just like a flurry of punches, and that'll be pretty much it for like an episode or something like that. So the little like action and stuff that they do have has, decent animation, good number of frames, stuff like that. But there's this one scene where it's like the Green Ranger does like, digs his feet in, it's like cracks the ground and he's like he shoots a blast, and it's like the name was like Vacuum Pistachio Blast, and I was like
Hell
that
yeah!
was good. So it's stuff like that. It's nice, and it's cheesy and nice at times, and then it's just that the romance part could be a little bit more tweaked. But anyways, it's pretty solid. I give it 7.5 or 8 out of 10. And if you guys want to check it out, if you guys like these sorts of themes, like the sort of vanilla cheesy rom-com backbone, you guys should check it out. Yeah, that was my review of Love After World Domination. Again, manga original adapted by Project Number 9. The Japanese name is Koi wa Sekai Seifuku no Atsude. And last but not least, of course, what bombshell do you have for us, Dark?
I have a very under talked about series.
But Dark,
Very
what's
niche.
Tiny,
I don't think anybody.
small little
Dark,
series.
Dark, what's
Yeah.
your favorite movie?
My favorite movie?
What's your favorite movie?
It's a really hard fucking answer.
What's your favorite
Oh.
N64 video game?
Favorite N64 video game? I never had an N64, so
Yikes!
I mean, it has to be GoldenEye because like
Hey, hell yeah!
that was the one to play other than Smash Bros. It was like Smash 64, GoldenEye. But
Speaking of
yeah, no, my
GoldenEye,
favorite movies are not James Bond. Though I
oh,
was a massive fan of Mission Impossible. Kid.
that's fair.
So
Still works.
I wouldn't say like James Bond. I liked the. I was a bigger fan of the video games because of like GoldenEye and then like PS2 Nightfire and shit like that. So that kind of stuff was always fun. But yeah, so I have Spy Family.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
And
Spy Family or Spy X Family? Is it like
just
the Hunter x Hunter situation?
just
It's
Spy
just
Family.
yeah, it's just Spy Family.
You pronounce. Yeah, so I watched this series. This series is about our main character, an agent known as Twilight, uh, and he is a master spy, and he is part of an organization called WISE that is trying to essentially balance these two opposing forces, the East and West. I
The
do know that
Triad and the I don't know what.
Yeah, what
what's,
what is it?
what?
He's Westalis's master spy. So he's technically part of the West, but I don't think it particularly matters to them. Like, that they are part of the West. Like, I'm fairly sure the scenario is like, they just work to balance everything so that they don't blow each other up. On top of, the general, like, stealing back things that were stolen, etc., etc. Yeah, he is a genuine spy as well, which is rare to come by in anime, I find. So there's
Like
that.
who are fake spies that you're talking about?
I mean, fake spies are like when anime goes like, yeah, this person's a spy, and they just murder people, and it's like, well, that's not a
Oh
spy.
yeah, it's like
Like that. That's an
it's like I do
assassin.
secretive stuff like killing everybody in the room.
It's like, yeah, I'm a spy, and then it's like, what do? They behave like John Wick, where they walk into a room and shoot 50 people. It's like, well, that's not being a
Nobody will
spy.
ever know.
Yeah. Basically, the way I feel like anime treats spies the way like, like Splinter Cell is like you
I mean,
you
anime
like
treats spies the way fucking YouTubers play fucking Hitman. Like,
yeah, it's like kill everyone. Like no one will report it if they're all dead. Like
Is there a difference between spy and secret agent? Because
not
Yeah.
well, yeah.
What I mean,
I feel
a
like if
spy
you
is usually a secret agent, but the idea of a spy is that there's an actual mission for him to do, like infiltrate or whatever, right? Whereas
I
a
don't
secret
know.
agent is kind of just doing whatever tasks,
I
right?
wouldn't call Sam
yeah.
Fisher a spy. I'd call him a secret agent. Same with Snake.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
yeah,
yeah,
but that's what I mean.
Risk.
That's what I'm saying.
because
Like anime
yes,
treats it that way.
Sam Fisher and Snake aren't spies. Like, they're
Yeah,
not.
they work for like fucking, you know,
Yeah,
secret
they're like fucking.
organizations and are literally like military assassins. Like
Yeah,
they're not spying on anyone. They
they're
get
like
sent
spec
in to
ops
kill
dudes.
people.
Yeah,
So, but I feel like anime treats spies that way, where they're like, literally like leave no witnesses instead of just no witnesses.
What do you mean this isn't a
Um,
hitman run through?
yeah, again, it's like it is like a hitman run through. It's just 47 running up to people, shooting them in the head while no one sees them, and then running away. And if a guard sees them, murdering them instantly. So, it is nice to have a series that doesn't have that. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, Twilight gets set up to have a new mission where he is to find a oh gosh, what's his name? Let me see. He gets tasked with a new thing. It's to infiltrate a prestigious academy to investigate a politician named Donovan Desmond. But the
Hmm?
only place he really shows his face is at his son's like school like events. So the way Twilight needs to make contact with this person and like investigate them is through these events, which then he gets set up with the thing of you need to now put together a family within the next week so that you can attend these events because they're
My family.
Oh, okay.
like the I
Oh,
think it was like this not so much that the event is starting, it's just that like the school is starting. So and so his
Mhm.
task is like, you have a week to get a kid, and then
I don't think it works like that.
spoiler alert. Yeah, yeah, which he does say. um, like how am I supposed to get a kid in a week? But yeah, so trying to think to really cover. I mean, then Yor gets into the picture because he needs he gets a letter after he adopts Anya.
Mhm.
Spoiler alert, he adopts Anya. To essentially have her attend the school, and then he can go to the events through that. And then he meets Yor out of coincidence, but they wind up arranging to be married to each other because Twilight lies and says that, it's his late wife's wish that his daughter would get into this academy, and the academy's interview requires both parents to be there. Like they need to be, like these students need to be in an optimal environment to them, so you can't have like a single parent.
Okay.
And then she agrees to it because her younger brother is worried about her not like having any sort of engagement or boyfriend at her age.
Okay.
And so she also agrees to that because like certain people at work were saying like, it's mighty weird, like it's mighty suspicious that you have no significant other at the age that we're at. And so since she's spoiler alert, she's an assassin, she decides, okay, well, this will help me with work. Like this will help me keep my cover, or people are going to start, questioning why I'm not going out, like why I'm with
Right.
no one.
Well, keep it down. Yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of just goes from there. It takes. I think they only really do the marriage thing like episode 3, and now we're on episode 4. So it does ramp up where like Yor isn't even in episode 1. But the content that's there is very good. So what I would say is, this series does have as its name implies, a pretty solid split so far of like spy trivia and like the family slice of life stuff tying into that and sort of what situations they would get in. So, it's like half of episode 1 is very much purely Twilight coming Lloyd and then adopting Anya, and then it turns into like some family stuff, and then sort of like what you can get roped into when those merge. So I think that's been quite nice overall, pacing wise.
How is the balance between like them being like, oh, we actually have to do family stuff, and then them doing obviously like spy stuff, right?
Also, episodes 1 and 2, it was more of a split because I was like kind of setting up like they don't even have the full family yet. Of like Lloyd slash as like Twilight as Lloyd, sort of dealing with trying to find a wife was episode 2. So that was like half of episode 2 was him meeting you. But the other half of episode 2 was him like focusing on like the mission, trying to figure out what his next steps are, doing a short mission with his informant Frankie and stuff like that. And then episode 1 was very similar where it was setting up, like here's this spy, here's a literal Mission Impossible mask like bit that he does, then gets new mission, has to adopt Anya. That sort of merges the two, where it's like the next half of the episode is here's some family stuff, then here is some spy shit that gets entangled with the family now. And I feel like that's
Right.
kind of what's been happening, where it does like the mission stuff, the setup of what we're gonna deal with this episode a little bit with Twilight, and then it gets into, fully fledged like here's things going awry, and here's how like an assassin like, you're dealing with this, and then Twilight dealing with it. All while they're trying to keep it secret from each other. I didn't mention that either. None of them know what each other are, except for Anya,
Mhm.
because she can read minds, which I
Right,
also
exactly.
technically did not say either. Though her mind reading doesn't, like, it's not really being used very much as a pure, like, tool so
It's
far.
more. Is it more of a
It's a
comedic
convenient,
device?
yeah, it's more of a device that's convenient for Anya to know everything.
Right, right.
Um,
Or for the story, or not story, but the episodic parts of the episode. As silly as that sounds, the episodic parts of the episode, the parts that are more contained within the episode itself, for those to get resolved more quickly via Anya, right? If
yeah,
we were to make it more abstract, or to make it more meta, rather.
yeah, and it's also because since like she and it's a lot of Anya either indirectly trying to like push things along because she doesn't want either of them to know
Hmm.
that she's a mind, like she's a telepath. Um, and I'm trying to think of what else. There's something else I was going to say about it too. Oh yeah, and then a lot of like gimmicks and jokes of her letting slip certain things that
Hmm.
she's getting because she knows that Yor and Lloyd are like an assassin and a spy. So her letting slip that info. For an example, like she draws a picture at a museum they go to in like a kid's play thing where you could draw. So she draws a thing of like, oh, like we're living in a castle and like mom is an assassin and dad is a spy. And then when they're ready to leave, Lloyd and Yor are walking over, and she's like, "Oh no, they're gonna know that I'm a telepath." And they look at it, but it's just a kid's drawing. So
Right,
Lloyd
exactly,
is like,
exactly.
"Oh, that's your spy cartoon from the other day," and he can't actually make out like any details anywhere. So there's a
That's
lot of
pretty
stuff
funny.
like that that it plays off of, where it's like Anya's a telepath, but
But
really
fuck
like
yeah,
the way she interfaces with the world is as a kid anyway.
right,
So
exactly.
like how does that like come to fruition, I guess you could say, or how does that work?
Mm.
So far I feel like balance wise it's been great, character wise it's been really great too, audio visuals are really really good, has a killer OP and ED.
This is the main. I believe. Wait, who did the OP/ED here? It's Higedan, right? Yeah, Higedan did opening.
Yeah,
And
Higedan did
what? Wait,
opening,
wait.
and then
Higedan did the opening, and then again, Hoshino Gen did the ending.
yeah,
How much money is
Hoshinogen did
going
the
in this series?
a lot.
I mean, I would fucking hope a lot. Like this series
Tons
is
and tons.
like this is
By the
one
way,
of
for those of
This
you
is
who
a
guys don't know,
collaborative series between Wit and Cloverworks as well, so like
yeah, yeah. By the way,
a lot.
for those of you who don't know, like, who are not that much into J-pop and don't know why I just sputtered at the fact that opening was done by Higedan and the ending was done by Hushin again. Imagine, okay, for those of you who are like more like anime nerds, I guess, like, or like standard like stereotypical anime people, this is like if the opening was done by like Supercell and then the ending was done by like Nana Mizuki, but 100 times over because they're actually more popular than that. Like, this is
Yeah.
that's just how serious it is.
Who are those people? Are you thinking of Sawano and I don't know, Lisa? Is that the new reference nowadays?
I guess that's it. Yeah, I
Or
guess that's a better
Iber and Lisa?
reference.
I don't know.
Although if it's Lisa, I would say it's like almost comparable in size to at least maybe Higedan. Although probably not Hoshinogen because Hoshinogen is pretty big. But yeah. Wow, that's a lot of fucking money there.
Yeah, it's kind of
That's a lot of
insane.
money.
yeah. It's
The
almost like this is
OP,
one of Shonen Jump's biggest fucking properties.
Yeah, it's like top 3 right now. It's like
Yeah,
top 1 right now, isn't it? It's still
I
top 1
Better
even
than One
after like
Piece?
the
I
insights.
Wow.
think.
Oh,
Well,
it's not One Piece. Well, One Piece sank a lot recently, but
Not anymore. It's War on Roof Piece now.
that's
yeah. I
true.
mean, it's
But it's definitely
still
top 3. It's within top 3.
probably yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
so
Anyways,
I would say there are a few other important things to note with the series.
Hmm.
Those being, one, again, killer OP especially because the OP is in like a completely different style for most of it. I don't really know how to describe it. I don't know if anyone else knows how to describe it, but I really have no words for like what sort of like style it's in. But it's quite nice looking and it's quite different. And I guess it's more of maybe trying to emulate like the way Anya sees the family that she's with, of them being more of a normal family. But they just so
Who,
happen to also have a spy and assassin, and it transitions. So,
speaking of perspectives, who would you call the main character in this series?
I mean, obviously the three mains. I feel like Yor so far has had the least, but that's because she showed up in a later episode. But I feel like now that Yor is in the picture, it's been a very, very balanced cast. Would you say? Would you say cast? I mean, a very balanced, like it's balanced between all three of them very well.
Hmm.
Now that Yor is in the picture, once her episode like began. No, in the most, yeah, and again, like even in the most recent episode, like Lloyd obviously gets the most, I feel like, introspections and like
Yeah,
monologues and
I'm pretty
interior.
sure even in the manga, uh, in like the big picture, Lloyd and Anya are like they're the main focus.
Yeah,
Um,
which
Well, that's because
I think is
they were the
more as
first
a result
introduced.
of,
yeah,
well, not even just that. I think it's more of like their characters in general. Like Yor isn't there specifically for a mission, and Anya knows like what both of them are. So like
Well, my question
naturally
is, I mean,
they
I'm
would
not.
get the most sort of internal.
The thing is though, I don't think it's like they're not really competing for screen time, I would say, right? Because they're all
no,
No,
like
no.
it's not
but in terms
it's
of
like saying the
like
main character and the heroine are competing for screen time. That's not how that works,
I
right?
don't
yeah,
know,
So
but
all
man.
in
I
three
terms of
saw
are
that
like
movie.
part of the group.
focus for like pushing the plot forward in
Yeah,
like
it's them. It's like
character
that unit.
introspection and character motivation, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Your from what I've heard, your mostly gets this like sideline in regards to that because like Lloyd and Anya are kind of the ones that are like doing
Driving,
stuff
active, yeah,
in the
actively
story.
doing
You
stuff,
know what I mean?
and then yours, the sort of the one who's trying to be more secretive, is
Yeah.
how I'm getting it,
Well,
right?
yeah,
So,
because again, it's like as far as plot goes, like Lloyd is trying to perform a very large, like long-winded mission,
mhm,
whereas Yor is just trying to stay undercover, and then Anya again is like aware of the entire situation. So naturally,
right,
like those two will have more to say about situations, at least
mhm,
more to think and to for us to see that internal like dialogue.
mhm.
Whereas your does get, I would say, like equal actual interaction so far, like, well, what would you say, like influence almost, like if you could say like overall influence on the course of events, um especially like in the most recent episode, even though like Lloyd got a lot of internal stuff, Yor still does comment on the situation that they're in and take action and such. So I think it's a pretty
Mhm.
even split in that regard. But as far as as far as what you're getting internally, as far as what you're getting towards like the overall plot, it winds up just being those two because at least as of right now, like Yor doesn't know he like Twilight's a spy. Like she doesn't know
Mm.
Lloyd is a spy. So
Yeah, I understand
um
it. And again, my opinion, at least these sorts of character networks, is that I mean those three are more or less. I mean, Yes, I get what's going on from what you guys are telling me in terms of like the interactions and who's kind of who's at the steering wheel essentially in terms of the plot, right? At this point.
Yeah.
But it mostly kind of just seems like they're just one group. It's pretty much the character network right now is they're one group, and the plot is just constantly revolving around this like, oh, they're hiding, will they, won't they, blah blah blah, and everybody else is just like some mob character bullshit, right?
Well, yeah,
So
yeah. I
that's
mean,
what it
it's
seems like
like
to me.
it's not like yours on par with like any of the other characters,
Yeah,
like
exactly,
in the
exactly.
extended cast. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I would say other things to note is I would say the tone is very important. And that's probably what I loved the most about the show, especially initially, because the first episode is extremely fucking cheesy. Like, I mean, it all is because it's very spy fiction, like
Yeah, I mean
exactly like what you would think. Like,
it's Cold War era fucking spy story. Like,
Spy
you know,
versus spy.
yeah. So
yeah, and it is not. It's not like super serious. It's not. It's not trying to be very like dramatic, like very drama
Mhm.
driven,
Right, right, exactly.
which is naturally so. And like I said, you have very like you have some Mission Impossible type shit happen. You have things like whoever was in charge of sound for this. I was talking to Nier, like it can't be a coincidence that in first episode the sound effects they're using for the silenced pistols is the exact sound effect that they use for the silenced pistol in GoldenEye 64/Source. Like it is that very weird, like almost laser sounding silenced pistol like sound effect, which
That's
is both
pretty
not
cool though.
natural. Like
Yeah,
there is
exactly.
no other reason to use that unless you are making like that connection.
Yeah. That's pretty
Granted,
cool though,
like I
honestly.
said, not a Bond fan movie wise, so for all I know, that could have also been in the movies.
Well, they probably got it from like, somewhere around there. That's usually what happens with like Japanese like references.
Yeah.
But
So I thought that was fun. I think overall, again, like the tone, even for the more serious moments, it
Mhm.
is very much playing into. I mean, it's still playing into very cheesy, like spy fiction type things, and as well as anime. Like, also, Twilight in the first episode drops the fucking line, um, after he saves Anya from a scenario, um, he drops the line like, "Oh, now I know why the sound of a kid crying is so irritating to me. It's because of my own past where no one reached out
this
to help me, and that's all I did was cry." And then and then he goes, "That's why I became a spy." To create a world where no children need to cry anymore.
the classic, the
As he's like,
classic.
yeah,
yeah.
as he's like walking away from Anya, like tearing off his disguise to go like beat up the bad guys. So, like shit like that, I think is where like tonally this series has been really fucking great.
Mhm.
Um, and I would say perfect in that regard.
Okay, so I guess any last words on Spy Family? I know again it's like, if we sat here and kind of talked about
Does
it,
it live up
talked
to
about
its expectations, Dark? Is it the best
yeah,
show of the
Toast
season?
asked the question I was trying to avoid, honestly.
I mean, personally, I didn't have an expectation, so there was
Oh really?
that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like I knew of it, I knew how big it was.
Hmm.
Again, like
But there are
my
plenty
ex,
of things that
like
were like
I would
expected to be
say,
big, but
it
yeah.
lived up to the expectation in the sense of going over all the like tonal and everything that we went over, and for me personally,
Uh-huh.
again, having an actual like spy and spy things.
Mhm.
Um, I would say that exceeded my expectations because I didn't think it was going to be like I didn't think it was going to have that much care, right? Like I didn't think a character like Frankie would be there where, he's the weird like quirky informant that gets wrapped up into jobs with Lloyd. Like again, I thought it was going to be the way spies, quote unquote, are normally handled. I thought he was
Right,
just
right.
going to be like, yeah, he's got like a job, but also he just basically kills people.
Hmm.
But they've very much not done that. So that has been very, very good. Also, it's got a killer soundtrack. So there's that too.
Yeah, again, I think they put every, I think half the dollars flowing around in the
Yeah.
anime industry right now are going into Spy Family, so
I
they
mean,
better.
at the end of the day, Spy Family has been an award-winning manga for fucking years now. Like it's just been scooping up awards left and right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if they didn't put a shitload of fucking money into this series,
People will be
and
getting hate mail until like
if like
2025.
if this wasn't a absolutely fucking top tier adaptation, which by all regards from what I'm hearing, it is. Like it
Yeah.
literally hits every note you could possibly want for an adaptation.
And it's not like they had to really work for it because it's like
Yeah,
the base
the
material was good.
material is good. Like the source material is
So they
fucking
just had to
really
put the
good.
audio visuals on
Yeah,
it.
they just have to, make sure it looks good
Yeah,
and make sure that they're not cutting out huge fucking chunks of it for no reason.
exactly.
Um, and you know, uh, fucking golf clap to fucking Cloverworks and Wit Studio. They managed to perform the absolutely basic tasks of adapting a manga.
Not
Um,
fucking yeah, not fucking the entire thing up once they were
yeah,
given more money than fucking Warren
and
Buffett
yeah,
himself.
they've got a lot of fucking money to work with. So like, you know, again, when you announce a anime adaptation for something like Spy Family, you already have a recipe for success, right?
Yeah.
And it's really hard to
The
fuck it up.
surprise is not
Yeah.
having success. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I feel like in recent times, I feel
Like,
like
I mean, we never said that Japan never fucks stuff up.
yeah,
I
Japan
just feel like
fucks up a lot of stuff up.
it lived up to what it in my opinion, like I feel like it lives up to what it should be. But as far as like what I've unfortunately come to expect at this point, it does, exceed that.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely good that, we got a solid adaptation like this. And, you know, we do say golf class, but it's good that we have, solid adaptations and a good example of what happens when we give stuff proper money. But it's good to hear that Spy Family, what it turns overall. I hope it stays that way and nothing weird happens like alternate endings or weird truncations or, sudden drops in audiovisual quality or whatever. But
Well, so far,
from
I'm
what
pretty sure it's already confirmed for fall as well to continue part 2.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, it's a 20. It's gonna be 24. Okay, okay, yeah.
yeah.
All
I
right,
mean,
good stuff.
I wouldn't be surprised if it keeps going. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, I
again,
mean, for sure.
this is one of Shonen Jump's biggest series, right?
Yeah,
So if they can get like, if they can get 3, 4 seasons out of this, they're absolutely going to, right?
yeah,
So
yeah. Anyways, I guess that's
What
it.
was your what's your number
Yeah,
rating?
what's the rating?
Art?
Yeah, the very rating.
My rating, I mean, Mal has it at a fucking cool
9.8
9.08. I
and
mean,
nine point zero eight.
Honestly, that's a pretty rare score
I'd give it a
for
10.
Maul.
Like, I may
Hell
as well give it
yeah.
a 10. Like, it's
Good stuff.
good. Like, it's that good. Like, there's nothing I haven't just
No discernible flaws.
fully
All right.
enjoyed about it. So
Yeah. All
then
right.
that's why it's like, again, Mall it is what it is, especially with
Yeah, well,
its
it's
like
color all
how
over
it
it.
puts points, but
Mhm. At least this time they didn't fuck up the scoring for Spy
yeah,
Family.
I mean, that's probably as close as you're gonna get at this point.
Yeah, yeah. To
I mean,
reasonableness. Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
would really wouldn't be surprised if it goes higher on well. like
Yeah,
as
if it starts
as
rising
the
over
yeah as
time.
the series progresses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who's out here like not giving it tens. Or
I
like
mean, there's
or
always gonna be
being like, I
contrarians out
need
there, like,
I consider
especially
this
on Vol.
a 9. A 9 out of 10. You know, it had one scene in one episode that had kind of weird CG.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
it's
So
it's
did.
this
I mean,
it's
there
more of
was a
the
crowd
score.
scene. I was like,
It's more of the score is probably being brought down by like A, contrarians, and B, people like that fucking psychotic TikTok that were like, kind of weird that they sexualized the child in this series. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
wait, what?
God,
That I
what the
didn't
fuck?
see.
yeah, you didn't see that? It
No,
was
I did
literally
not
just a
see
fucking
that.
like. It was literally just a screen cap of Lloyd picking up Anya, and she's got like a look of like wonderment in her eyes. And the
How
TikTok
The
is
come
like,
part
that
where
dad is
she
picking up her
has that because
child?
she finally has a
yeah,
fucking family like
yeah, and
now.
the TikTok
Like,
is like kind of weird that they sexualize the child. And then I saw like some posts
oh
of
wait, no, it's probably
a
the end of episode 1
comments
where
on
she
that.
where Lloyd is asleep on the couch.
No, it's
Oh, it's not
literally
even.
the
Oh, it's
scene
before
where
that.
he picks her up. Like he picks her up, and there's a comment under it that's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like this isn't sexual at all. And
It's like they see
the TikTok
father.
poster was like, she's got that pink stuff on her face. It's like, bro,
Damn,
like,
dude. Yeah, that
The
only means
classic,
you're
yeah, the
horny.
fake stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, actual fucking Coomer brain over here is like all
yeah.
blushing in
Touch
anime.
touch
Must
fucking
be an Uchi
grass,
scene.
bro. Like straight up. But yeah, like there are just fucking
Must
psychos
be.
out there that will like it'll like they'll completely misinterpret something and they'll be like, yeah, this is like a 1 out of 10. You know what I mean? Like
Pointing
especially
out to somebody. It's like, hey, your fly. It's like your fly is unzipped, and then they
especially like
zip it and they
What, you
yeah,
trying to
flush,
see my
and you're like,
cock?
oh, you,
You trying to see my
hey,
dick?
you see horny.
yeah, especially on a platform like Mal where like the median IQ is like fucking 3. So,
It's as good as we're gonna get until it's pretty much the highest of a score that we're gonna get amongst like the mainstream media or mainstream anime until we get One Punch Man season 3.
I think you
God.
mean Chainsaw Man, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Anyways,
Chainsaw Man. That's
oh
still
yeah,
there,
that
huh?
too. Anyways, thank you very much, Dark, for helping to cover what is probably again the biggest series of the season in Spy Family.
Yeah, and
And
I would say
one,
has the best OP this season. I think
Yeah.
Nier is
it's hard to
wrong.
beat. It's hard to beat,
You're really
man.
gonna
Like,
fight
come on.
Kongming on that? All right.
I mean, look,
Yeah,
again,
I
it was like I put in the
disagree.
Discord, like one Kongming's OP was the best one, and then I saw this one. I was like, okay, never mind.
But yeah. Anyways, thank you again very much, Dark, for helping to cover Spy Family. And if you want to check it out, you should check it out. It's gotten all these awards and gotten all this praise for a reason. Please do check out the anime again,
Yeah.
adapted by Cloverworks / Wit Studio, I believe, collaboration.
Yep.
And there's a manga
Oh,
original as well if you want to check that out. So yeah, there's Spy Family. And with that, we are finally moving on to our news. We're going to go over that real quick right here. If I had it opened up, which I closed tab for some reason, that was weird. Okay, so, oh yeah, so we're going to go over some brief company news here. Netflix CEO Reed Hastings said on Tuesday that the company is considering introducing an ad-supported streaming tier at a lower subscription cost. Hastings said, blah blah. He says some bullshit. Hastings' statement follows Netflix's Tuesday announcement of so this was their earnings call. Tuesday announcement of a decrease of about 200,000 subscribers from January to March, far below the company's earlier projection of a gain of 2.5 million subscribers. This is the service's first drop in subscriptions in a decade. So yeah, it's a little bit awkward over there in Netflix headquarters. So they're considering trying to make cheaper subscriptions instead of raising their subscription fees all the time. But I think
Oh, that's
it's
crazy.
I think it's also too late.
That's such a crazy plan.
Making it affordable, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think
not
it's kind of
raising your subscriptions every year by like fucking $4 might
Yeah.
keep people there. Damn.
Also,
Whatever
I think
happened
it's
to
again.
JoJo Fridays? Is that still a thing? No.
I
I
don't.
don't know,
I
but
don't know. I don't even know what they're doing with part 6. They even like release the other half yet?
They're releasing it in chunks.
Yeah, I know. Is the other
but
12
that's standard.
episodes out?
It's coming soon, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's this is, as many people have said, this is about as high peak as you can get for streaming, especially since, people were in COVID and now are coming out of COVID. And not only that, streaming and, this sort of stuff is becoming more and more like porn, right? It's like there are certainly ways you can make money off of this, but, you know, how many people really buy porn these days? So I think, streaming is going to have to suffer through similar hurdles to.
Does games count as porn?
No, but even
No.
then, how many people
Yeah.
really buy a lot of
I do.
Yeah. There's hurdles across all of these media.
They're all
But
on
anyways.
Steam too.
Anyways, next on the list, the official website of the Japan International Manga Award announced on Friday that the 16th competition is open for entries. Entries will be open until July 8th. Artists and publications can enter both published and unpublished works in the competition, excluding ones that won any past Japan International Manga Awards. The entries must include a manga of more than 60 pages that the artist has produced within the past 3 years. Either the artist or the writer of the entry must be a non-Japanese national. So more awards and programs. Next, a couple of, recently we had a couple of news articles that talked about, companies, not being very good with regards to labor practices, overworking employees, that's par for the course in Japan. And also sexual harassment and stuff like that. And people, and there was that one CEO statement, right, where it's like, I didn't know this law made in
What?
1964
Huh?
was a thing.
What?
equal employment laws. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
exactly. So
Wait,
there are
when
some
did
more.
those get
Literally
changed?
1984, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So a couple of more news related to that. The legal portal site bengo4.com or Bengoshi. So four is like Bengoshi. Bengoshi is lawyer in Japanese. The legal portal site bengoshi.com reported last week that the Central Labor Relations Committee's Labor Standards Inspection Office recommended corrective action to Japanese media company Toei in response to the company's alleged practice of working employees beyond legal limits and failing to provide proper overtime pay to employees. Very cool. Um, Toei stated in response that it's already decided to take steps on improving its policies based on the recommendation, obviously not beforehand, which would have been also
Lol.
nice, and acknowledged it as quote unquote fair. A female.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. Fuck off, dude.
A female toy assistant producer, along with a Sogo support union, labor union, announced the committee's recommendation in a press conference last Thursday. The woman sought the assistance of Sogo Support Union in reporting and filing a lawsuit against Toei for the company's work practices last November. She wrote an announcement giving specific examples of Toei's practices, including the quote unquote fixed overtime system, which determined that she would receive the same salary regardless of the amount of overtime she worked, with no other compensation. Very cool.
Fucking awesome, dude.
The assistant producer also claimed that work hours in the company would regularly exceed 13 hours a day. The assistant
Jeez.
producer also alleged that in the announcement that she was sexually harassed, claiming that a freelance employee touched her inappropriately. In a separate incident, a freelance assistant director supposedly gave her unreasonable orders, such as staring at her while they were alone in a quote unquote camera test and ordering her to sit with him. In both incidents, when she reported the behavior, she claimed that she received no assistance from Toei staff. Very nice. This is
Pretty cool.
definitely where the anime industry wants to go. The other news,
You
more
also
Japanese
definitely
companies.
do not want to hold any external hired staff accountable. That will definitely never come back to bite you in the ass ever, and there's no examples of that.
Oh my fucking god. Nintendo of America responded in a statement to news website Kotaku on Thursday after an anonymous employee filed a complaint with the National Labor Relations Board in Redmond, Washington against Nintendo and contracted company Aston Carter on April 15th. The complaint accuses Nintendo and Aston Carter of quote unquote concerted activities, discharge surveillance, and making quote unquote coercive actions against an employee, interfering with her right to unionize within the past 6 months. So this follows, I believe, Sony's recent scandal, right?
Uh-huh.
Was it Sony? Yeah, Sony's recent scandal with the same sort of like work problems, workforce problems, sexual harassment incidents, stuff like that. So, very, very good news across the board. Obviously, them not fixing it until they get blown up by the news.
Dude, Nintendo good
I
though.
mean,
So
Nintendo probably won't fix it because they're
Yeah,
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure their statement here is just like, "Yeah, we know.
yeah.
We don't care."
Yeah, it's fair, but fuck you.
Yeah.
Anyways, so final piece of news. I usually do not do person news these days, but I just thought that this was slightly funny and like I guess famous enough. So the Japanese government announced on Thursday that director Hideaki Anno is receiving. By the way, if you don't know who Hideaki Anno is, I'm not going to explain it to you. I don't know what else to say. You should know this name by now.
Who?
You should know who.
Yakayama?
Who?
Who's that guy?
Who's that guy? Seems like
Well,
nobody. Yeah. Uh,
Is he the guy who made Evangelion? The
yes, he is.
the
Gainax co-founder,
titular.
Evangelion creator.
Did you say Evangelion? What? He's
What?
not
Huh?
Evangelion. He's the
huh?
Gundam guy. How
Yeah,
dare you?
exactly. Hideaki Anno is receiving the Spring 2022 Medal with Purple Ribbon. The medal is awarded to quote unquote individuals who have contributed to academic and artistic developments, improvements, and accomplishments. Akimoto Yasushi, the founder of the AKB48 Auto Group franchise and the creator of the One Missed Call, Takushinari novel, and film franchise, is also receiving the medal with Purple Ribbon. So, like, can I say this? Like, I mean, Evangelion and Gainax thing. It's like pretty funny that he's receiving literally every recommendation in Japan. I think like
What I
if
want to know is why now? Like, why?
yeah, after the movie, right? It's because
Yeah,
after
but
the
like,
movie.
why only recently? Because Evangelion has been.
Because they needed to see the ending before they decided to give him the
yeah,
award.
before
Yeah,
they
yeah.
pulled the trigger.
You
Yeah.
know, the
They
fucking
wouldn't
movie,
know if his
the
legacy would be
fucking
good or not
movie
until the end.
titled "At the End of Evangelion" wasn't good enough. I guess I don't know, but it's like you know, like why wait this long? You know what I mean? Like Evangelion
Mm,
has been like it, it's like I mean it was for a very long time it was like the biggest fucking anime, right? And
mhm.
its influence is like still felt today. So like why wait until like, you know, the fucking final movie got delayed 17 times and finally came out to be like, "Oh, wait a minute.
So
This
Evangelion was a
wait a minute.
legacy creator.
This guy who created Evangelion and fucking influenced anime for decades, like
Right.
the entire anime industry, and also fucking directed Shin Godzilla and won
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
best picture and like best direction and shit.
Yeah.
I think now we'll start giving him awards. It's like,
They had to
okay,
confirm. They had to confirm that Evangelion was
yeah, it
indeed
wasn't.
They had
historic.
to make
It
sure it
wasn't.
wasn't a fluke,
It just.
dude.
Yeah, it just
It
wasn't
wasn't
a
a
Yeah,
fluke.
fluke.
it
You
could have
know.
been. It could have been luck, right?
Yeah.
So the thing I
Evangelion's
also
what?
find
30 years old now? Jeez.
what Evangelion's how many years old?
Isn't it like 30 years old now?
It's like really old, yeah. Um,
Um. I think it came out.
1995. Yikes,
Yeah,
that's
it came out
almost.
the year before I was born. So
yeah. But yeah, the thing I find funny is though, like I understand
Damn, Nia,
why.
you were born 1996.
yeah.
You're a Castlevania baby.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so the thing is the about the other person, the founder of the AKB48. I understand within the context of Japan why they gave him the medal, but it's like if it's any context other than Japan,
Yeah.
you're sort of like the Evangelion Gainax thing, like that up to that point, I can be like, yeah, okay, because it's like whatever. But like the whole like AKB48 thing, like can we not? Like, come on, guys.
Hey
Like I
man.
understand why you guys gave him the medal, but come on, guys, come on. This is like giving the founder of Playboy magazine like the Medal of Honor. You know what I mean? It's like the Congressional Medal of Honor. Like come
That'd
on,
be.
guys.
I mean, that'd be pretty based.
That'd be pretty funny. Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, so congratulations to him, and that should be pretty much the news for today. Pretty quick. And going over to our last piece of, or our last segment for the day. it is our shoutouts and callouts. Everybody here gets one shoutout and one callout each. Shoutout is something that you want to praise, give 5 out of 5. Shout to the heavens about it. It can be any one person, place, or thing. And callout is the exact opposite, of course, 0 out of 5. Rage on dislike so hard you can actually see the numbers on the dislike button again on YouTube. And it can be any one person, place, or thing. And we will start off with Nier. What do you have for us today?
I think a shout out, I guess, the fact that just this week I got BIS best in slot in Final Fantasy 14 for my warrior. So that's pretty cool. Got some new drip. It's nice. As for callouts, I don't know. I feel like I'm probably gonna call out that fucking Nintendo news because like I don't know, man. It's just fucking gross. Because I read that Kotaku article, and a lot of it was just like fucking. Because it was like, because basically the complaint was obviously they're fucking union busting, right? Like who isn't in America? Um,
Mm.
but also like the way, like the main body of the complaint is that like contract workers at Nintendo America get treated like fucking dirt, right? Like they just like they're basically like essentially fucking segregated. Like it's fucking insane. They get paid like garbage. Like they get paid fucking basically minimum wage. In like Seattle. It's like what the fuck, dude? Like you can't even live off that. And then what was it like? It was the classic case of like when you're a contract worker working there. It's like, oh well, you can only work for so many months before you have to do a mandatory you mandatorily have to basically not work for them for X amount of months. And it's like, obviously the reason they're doing that is because they don't want to give them fucking benefits, right? Like they don't want
Exactly,
to.
exactly.
Yeah, they're just like, oh well, technically they're only working for us for X amount of months, so they don't qualify for benefits, right? It's like, well, they can only work for you for that amount of months before you like forcefully fucking cut their contract, and then like after a couple of months or like 3-4 months, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, you can work for us again, by the way, and it's so fucking disgusting. Like I it's probably one of the grossest practices I've seen, especially in like tech and stuff, where it's like, yeah, you can be a contract worker, and if you work for us long enough, you can be full time and you'll get benefits. But that's not gonna happen because we're just gonna fucking cut your contract. It's like it's fucking disgusting. Not to mention the fact that literally every fucking company in the United States is just like, oh, you're gonna unionize? How about we fucking break your kneecaps, dude? Like, so fucking gross. But yeah, that's my rant.
No, it's well deserved, especially versus these motherfuckers. Sorry for this sudden outburst, but anyways, thank you for your shout out and call out Nier, and of course we move now on to Dark. What about you, sir?
Someone who hates unions. Now, I'm gonna shout out the recent is it World of Warcraft expansion announcement. I forget when it was, but it was a pretty decently long. Not no, it actually wasn't a very long time ago, but like a few weeks ago or something. I was talking to Nier about WoW, and I was kind of like, if they're not gonna do it decently, I kind of just hope that either I get most, if not everything that I'd want, or the game just like is dead. And I can just move on for the rest of my fucking life. But pretty solid announcement came out. whatever the hell it's called, Dragonflight. Yeah, there you go. It looks pretty good. So, WoW may not be dead. I would very much like for that to be the case.
Okay. And your call out?
Oh. Uh Good question. um I guess I'm gonna call out people who don't play video games, but then who don't want to play a video game and then complain about like mechanics being added to it, right?
Oh,
To long story
I think I
short,
know where you're going. Yeah.
Dragonflight got announced with the dragon riding feature, which is a combination of two different Guild Wars 2 mounts in one. And Guild Wars 2 mounts are very fun. Guild Wars 2 has a good implementation of flying mounts in a game. I would say even Final Fantasy suffers from having flying mounts be just what conventional like mounts and flying mounts
Yeah.
are.
Don't go in a straight line. It's kind of boring.
Yeah,
Guild
it's
Wars
just
2s
like
are a lot more interesting.
yeah, I mean it's just like it detracts, I feel like, from a world space. Like it doesn't feel like one, and I feel like seeing Dragonflight's like zones from what we've seen, you can tell that this is what a game can look like and a zone can look like when you don't have to account for players having no clip and they just fly around and do whatever the fuck they want. And there's a lot of people that are like, they announced that apparently eventually they're going to do regular flying in Dragonflight, and I don't want them to, because it's like, I would rather you make it more of a game, make more gameplay for my game. Because flying mounts in Final Fantasy and in WoW have never been like, it's not gameplay. You're not actually doing anything. You're just auto running to another location, and the map is now irrelevant, entirely irrelevant. So the people who want shit like that and can't, or not even the people who want shit like the people who can't handle the idea of changing a game to do that, like fuck off and go play literally any mobile game. Like go play fucking Clash of Clans. Go play any auto battler. Go play fucking Mafia Wars where you don't play a video game anymore. Because frankly, I'd like to somehow see this in Final Fantasy. It would never happen, but that would be cool.
Very okay. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but thank you, Dark, for your shout and call out. What about you, Toast? Shout and call
My,
out,
my, my
please.
shout out. I don't fucking know. I guess the season has good openings. Hell yeah. What?
Okay. And your
Yeah.
call out?
I don't know. I've been pretty good. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me pick up my list. I don't know. I guess I'll
You don't have to have a call out if you don't want to. It's fine.
I guess my call out is that what's it called? What's that one thing called? Uh, I guess my call out is that Gambler Jessica still has not been translated according to my knowledge. Is
Okay.
that what it's called? I think it's called that.
Oh, sure. Okay, so I guess if that's that, then thank you, Toast. And I guess my shout out and call out. How do I do this? Oh, my shout out, I guess, is to some people, some coworkers that I found that also uh
Don't say their
watches
name, Spire. They could be listening right now.
watches anime, but they are of the good kind. They're not just diving into
Watch anime too.
yeah.
Ew.
Ew.
What's their
Ew.
favorite anime too? Just for reference. Just ha ha ha.
Just asking for a friend, you mean?
Just
Yeah.
asking for a friend. Just asking for near.
Unfortunately, they have fallen a little bit into the One Punch Man hole.
Season 1 or 2.
Luckily, they only watched one.
Okay, because I was gonna
They
say
have
like,
Don't
I mean,
worry.
they have
They'll
liking
not
One
watched
Punch
season two,
Man
and
is
I've
fine. Like,
recommended them away from season two. So I've
Do they?
talked
Do
about stuff.
they? Did you tell them to read the manga? And by manga, I mean the original manga by one, and not the iShield 21 guy, not
the
Murata.
web manga.
Yeah.
I feel like that'll freak most people out.
Yeah, well, I feel like Mob is better to read that way than One Punch Man, to be honest. But Mob is kind of just better in general. So
Aspire, where was that recommendation? I'm gonna call you out for not recommending that to your coworkers.
yeah, I think Spire's dead.
Good.
Sorry, I accidentally turned off the mic but anyways, I actually did get some of their contact information and I was like, oh, okay, and they were like, oh, recommend me some, series. And I was like, I guess. And then
Yeah,
I'll
and then you linked
forward
them
that.
the Google spreadsheet, right?
Yeah, the text file I have with like the 2000 titles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
And then you said just
but yeah.
ask around in this Discord. Here you go.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that's nice always to, find people with similar hobbies, especially anime related, right? And my call out is
Do they watch
so
anime or just VTubers?
no, they watch anime. They
You
don't
should
know anything
recommend them
about VTuber.
VTubers.
You should
Well,
not
I
do
think
that.
that's a little bit down the road, but
Get them in.
yeah. So recently, one of um Frontwing's earlier series, Hatsumira from the Future Undying. I forget what the title is. It's Hatsuru Kotonaki Mirai Yuri, by also known as Hatsumira for short, was translated and added to Steam. Again, this is one of Frontwing's earlier works. I forget if this was like before. I think this is slightly before Grisaya. And then they made Grisaya, and then they made Yukikoi Melt, and then they made like Island or some bullshit, and then they just like started. After that, they just started barfing all of these Grisaya spin-offs out the wazoo. But from what I've heard and what I've seen of Hatsumira's translations, this is slightly after Kasaya, says Pio in chat. Thank you very much for the correction. And Pio also notified me and showed me some screenshots of a, I think, like Japanese like war pilot or whatever. Oh, okay. Well, we both like searched on VNDB, but yeah. Anyways, um, so one of the characters is like a Japanese war pilot or something like that in the series, and apparently he has been translated to have a Cockney accent in the visual
As the
novel.
Japanese are prone to having.
Right, right, exactly. The whole like Hiroshima accent. It's just like a
Yeah.
Cockney accent. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So longtime listeners of the podcast know that I hate it when people try to do shit like this. That is just because that it's an accent, the Cockney accent is an accent, and the war pilot has an accent, doesn't mean that they're the same tone or should be used interchangeably or any of that shit related to translation. And the fact that people are getting paid for this shit and think smugly, oh, I did such a good job translating when they've arguably ruined perfectly good visual novel for many people in terms of their experience reading through it and stuff like that. Especially since it doesn't even make like there are plenty of like accents that are used in literature in Japanese, like that are reasonable, right? Like that are used in real life. Osaka Ben, right? Uh, Kyoto Ben, which is essentially a stronger sort of Osaka Ben kind of thing. Kyoto Ben, Hiroshima Ben, Kunoichi Ben, stuff like that. Like all these different like kind of prefectures and their accents and dialects and stuff like that, right? And I haven't heard the specific visual novel myself, but it's reasonable that he used one of these. And the fact that, you know, translators think they're so fucking like shitty ass C tier translators who get paid by these shitty localization companies think they're so smart and translate these accents into a Cockney accent, right? And as if, the majority of the English speaking world are like, yeah, that's a very common accent that I empathize with and I've heard before and it makes sense within this context as if anybody would say that, right? It's just it's almost criminal in my view, and it's just very stupid. So call outs to people localizing these things and thinking they're so goddamn smart for doing this thing when they're actually very very stupid and not really and missing the idea of translating in the first place. So fuck those guys. Anyways, that was my call out. And with that, we are finally done with the episode. We are going to have about 3 more episodes for the spring 2022 season. Again, we're unfortunately not going to be able to cover all of the stuff that you guys might want us to try reviewing, or even some of the stuff that we might want to try reviewing. We're going to try to cover as much breadth of the sort of popular mainstream stuff that's floating up, as well as stuff that we think is important and should be covered. But please, if you guys do have a recommendation for something we should review, please, uh, shoot us about on our social media, or just contact us whenever. Uh, on our Twitch.tv while we're streaming one of these episodes. So we'll take these recommendations and try to review those when we can. And of course, if you do like what we do, we stream our podcast recording every other Saturday, starting from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over at twitch.tv/4PlayAnimecast. Again, that's every other Saturday night, where we talk about the latest and greatest in Japanese anime-related media, anime, manga, light novels, web novels, visual novels, and so much more. So check us out here. We have recordings of our podcast in VOD format on Twitch, so you can view them here later, or on YouTube as well. So whichever format you desire for your viewing pleasure. You have updates and information / more news on our social media on Twitter, handle at 4PlayerAnimecast, again, all with the numeral 4, as well as on Facebook, 4PlayerAnimecast. So check us out here, check us out there, and as always, we'll see you next time.